Do I have sound? Oh, I can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Oh, hang on a second. Wait. No, speak up.
Can you hear?
Hello?
I hear you.
Look at how cool Curtis
There we
looks in
go.
his sunglasses today.
Fantastic. I
Glasses
do.
are so cool.
Glasses while we weren't on.
I do look cool in my sunglasses, and and I can see in my sunglasses too. I've been trying to not, but I had to give it up because I'm blind, and I just have to accept that fact. So it is as it were. So I'm gonna live. Well, not legally blind. I'm not like the Ray Charles here with the black glasses. I mean, I'm like I can't read very well if something is about this particular far away from me. So that's the way it goes. Oh man. What was that, Chris?
Are they prescription sunglasses?
They are. They're actually trifocals, all the way from bottom to top, and they're darker at the top than they are at the bottom because the top is where I see further away. So
fancy as heck.
That is super fancy.
For like driving and lights. Yeah, they're Ray-Bans, and they were. I'm glad I didn't break these like I broke my other ones because. That was a hard day. Don't get me started in that.
Are we live?
That's not the horror. Yes, we are live.
We're super live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to the tabletop roleplay theater. My name is Curtis, and I am the game master for tonight's presentation of humankind, their horrors, the illusion, truth, and the search for their lost divinity. The characters that you will see portrayed on our stage tonight have dark secrets, and they have become very aware of what's behind and even beyond the veil. They currently are standing at the brink of. Well, they all have pain and suffering, and it is manifested into disadvantages that hinder and advantages that may help them, but could also bear forth nightmares into reality, assuming they roll. Or they don't roll. What is it, better than a 9? To bring chaos into their lives. The more they discover, and the more they suffer, the more abilities they unlock. So, let's meet our very talented players now. And I'd like to start with Duke.
Hi, I'm Duke. I play Sasha, the Broken.
Hello, I'm Jaylee. I play Harvey, the Cursed.
Hi, I'm Erica. I play Joel, the Avenger.
Hello, I'm Krista, and I play Blythe, the doll.
And I am Chris. I play Dr. Ernest Kennedy, the scientist.
Perfect. Did you hear that? Perfect. They got through it all the way like they knew exactly what they're doing. Professionals right here. Thank you, players. And thank you, Helmgast, the publishers of KULT Divinity Lost, this particular edition, for your fantastic new editions. And our series is called Manhattan. This is episode 8, The Room with the Box. You guys.
took you, Blythe. I took you from your apartment. We went to the scientist's house.
Yes.
We were up most of the night. Then, as we were getting ready to go to bed, the detective.
All our characters.
No.
Technically, no,
you
characters
woke
haven't
me
slept
up
like,
when
at
the
all.
scientist
I
or
got
when the
a-
detective came.
Oh, did
Okay.
she think I was talking about Jaylee? If
Blythe might-
Jaylee
I
has
had
gotten
just,
any sleep
real life
since then?
sleep.
Yeah,
You were up all night. I
Yes,
slept.
Okay. Okay. Fair. You
I
slept.
got a good 4 hours that night.
Harvey slept
is-
in hard,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sasha has not slept.
naturally.
Right. But what's new?
Okay. Just want to
Maybe
make
part of the
sure.
reason I'm having such a hard time mentally, because
I
Valium.
mean, with all those Valium in your system, yeah. I'd be-
Don't forget the cocaine. Don't.
Yeah,
Keep
the
on
cocaine's
grinding.
really helping out.
It's been a long 48 hours.
What's that thing you have to roll when you do drugs? Roll that.
Drugs,
Drug
roll
roll,
for
please.
drugs.
Roll for drugs, ladies
Roll
and
for
gentlemen.
drugs.
You slept
When,
on?
if I remember correctly, welcome back, by the way. When we last left, you were in a room with a rather large cube-shaped monolith in the center of it. And there was a wall of doors, and opposite the wall of doors and on the other side of the monolithic cube, there is a dark hallway that goes into darkness. You don't see more than 10 feet into that particular hallway. And if I remember correctly, for all of you except for one, it's just pretty much a pristine, clean room, right? Nobody sees the red stuff that Harvey sees. Is that correct?
Oh, I can't remember if I saw the blood or not.
I was gonna say, I thought we all were seeing it.
Okay.
I don't think we
When
are.
we were in the hallway with all the doors.
Yeah, I knew.
Nobody saw the blood, but
now-
now that we're in the room that has the cube,
It's appeared. I couldn't remember if I made it appear to you or not.
Yeah, I think you did.
I
Yeah.
listened to the end of the episode, I think 4 times this afternoon, but I was also doing 3 other things at the same time, thinking that I could pay attention to this and work on this at the same time, and then I'd be like, wait a minute, what was... Hang on a second. Let me go back and watch that again.
I think
They
they see the
keep her.
blood and the cube, but they don't see what's in the cube.
Okay. So I know that Harvey was up next to the cube and was just about to touch it, and he saw this cube that was covered in this blood-colored red substance. It's wet looking, but kind of thick and
Ichor is
gooey.
the word that you used.
I know, but I'm getting to that because
So
I'm
good.
not finished with ichor yet, because inside this red stuff is these thin ribbons of a black ichor and a white infectious looking substance, and these kind of ribbon throughout this whole red gooey ichor that sort of gives it almost a pearlescent sort of, almost a lifelike sort of feel to it. And I believe that Sasha was nearby with his torch as they were getting close, peering at the top of this thing. What's Ernie doing as Harvey gets ready to look at about to touch this block?
I, in my left hand, have my tape recorder describing what I see. My right hand is in my coat pocket, running up and down the length of a scalpel because I really want to take a sample.
A sample of the stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
No, I don't have a petri dish or anything, unfortunately. So there's really no way that I can take a sample, but I really want to.
Okay. What about you, Sasha? You're up close with the torch. You see her leaning in. What are your intentions to do? You gonna let her continue with the motion and just see what happens, or are you gonna try to prevent it?
Harvey, you have your hand out as if you are getting ready to plunge it into the liquid that is pouring out of this cube, right?
Yeah, I think he was like kind of has his hand out because he sees what's in there. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not close yet, but he's like lifted it. He's thinking about it.
Okay, honestly, Sasha is probably looking into this as, you know what I mean, just like trying to keep his eyes out on this cube, you know what I mean, because I'm expecting something to happen, because Sasha assumes that this is the box
Right.
that the lady instructed Harvey to find.
Right. Joel, what are you doing?
Joel's definitely got her gun in her hand, like pointed at the ground, but she's like probably flanking Harvey and Sasha.
So you've brought yourself up close to the cube then.
Yep.
Okay. Blythe, what are you doing?
I would say if Harvey's on one side of Sasha, I'm on the other, and he's a sandwich.
So everybody's gotten into this dramatic scene, all moved around, circling this cube, watching Harvey. And I believe, Harvey, you started to see that familiar eye in the center of the black swirl. Is that correct?
Yeah.
If I had all of my notes going. As you start to lift your hand and reach out, you should roll to avoid harm.
Yikes.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, that
Oh
is
God.
That's not better than a 9.
that is not better than a
not better.
9.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no,
No.
Harvey.
No, sir.
So as you reach out to kind of, get closer and look, you actually get within about a foot of this cube, and the red and black, it's mostly red, dark red with these black and white streaks through it, this ichor suddenly comes to life and just flashes out with all of these tendrils out from the cube, and these long snaky a bloody jellyfish tendrils, just hundreds of them, reach out and grab you. They grab your head, they grab your arms, wrap around your legs, and they swirl up from the floor and snatch your feet and yank you to the cube. Duke, did you want to do something in this moment?
Yeah,
Or Sasha, I'm sorry. I have to get you. Remember to say character names, not
I
player
say,
names.
and I don't know if you remember at the end of the episode, Harvey had tied part of his flannel around his arm and given the other part to Sasha.
Oh, okay, right. I had forgotten that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna yank on that flannel, and Sasha had the torch, up over our heads so that Harvey had a better line of sight at the cube, but I also had my gun in my other hand, and so I'm going to yank Harvey back, and I'm going to shoot at the cube itself.
Okay. So why
I think
don't
it's an act under a pressure? I don't know. What is that?
I was going to either offer up something like that, or I was going to give you a helping roll. What did she roll? She rolled a 7. If you got a 15 or better, you could give her a +2. That's still only give her a 9.
Still
Okay,
only a 9. She's still,
that wouldn't work.
Still not better than a 9.
No,
Not better than a 9.
Yeah, act under pressure. And then for the other is going to be, where is it? Engage in combat.
Okay, here we go.
Are all of these tendrils just going towards Harvey?
No.
Yes, just
That is
Harvey.
exactly a 9.
Sasha.
That is
Can he-
not,
Oh,
that's not better
Does he
than a
get a
9.
bonus or
That
anything
is-
because it's for me? Yeah, but does he get a bonus since it was for me and we get a +2 on relation?
That's a really good
Does
question.
that work that way?
Oh.
That might.
That is a really good question. Let me see.
How
Okay.
does that work?
You have
Here's-
a 2
here's the-
relation?
Here's the thing, though.
What's the thing?
I'm going to spend one of my 6 cents and hold on, I gotta. And I'm gonna act first. I don't know if that'll apply. I don't think that'll apply. Shit.
No, a relationship bonus doesn't apply in this particular situation.
Tried.
Harvey. Yeah. No, good. I'm glad you asked because I forget about those things and I want to look them up and get them out. That way we get used to it.
Cool.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think it would apply. I think I'm fucked.
Okay, so that was your
Or
act under
Harvey.
pressure. That was
How-
a 9.
Quickly is all of this happening?
Very. Consider it like, like D&D initiative is kind of how I think of it.
Sure.
As each person you get, it's like, what is it, 6 seconds or 9 seconds or something?
Well, I mean, because Ernie was already like running his hand up the scalpel in his pocket. And if he sees Harvey get grabbed by all of these tendrils that he was already thinking about cutting,
Right.
he's going to whip it out and just slash as many of them as he can.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Before that happens, I rolled a 9 and act under pressure, and there are serious consequences.
Oh man.
I make a mistake
God.
or I'm exposed to danger. So
Yeah, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you go ahead and make your move next, Doc. But because of Sasha being tied to Harvey, when she gets sucked up against the cube with that initial pull tight, the tendrils reached out, grabbed her, pulled her tight against the cube. That's when she was tied to Sasha, and he makes a yank. And did you didn't make your shot to engage in combat?
oh, are you going to let me do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get to make your
This
roll.
is
might-
a horrible idea.
You might
Say-
fuck it up.
You, Harvey.
This is a really bad idea right now.
Oh,
The
my
doc's
goodness.
coming in. What were you using, Doc? A knife?
14. Better
Better.
than a 9.
Scalpel.
Better than a 9.
A 14. What kind of... Your gun does 2 damage, doesn't it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
inflict damage, but at a cost.
Okay. It was a knife. Is that what you said, Dr. Kennedy?
Scalpel.
A scalpel. Ooh. And you're going for the tendrils?
Yep.
Okay, so why don't you roll and engage in combat for me?
I am not a violent person.
Oh no.
Wow.
man.
Yikes.
Oh,
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
no. Okay.
Definitely not better than a 9.
We are getting bamboozled by this box. Oh man.
Box boozled.
Well, short episode tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
That's all right.
Y'all
Just to
die.
let you know, I'm stacking up my moves at this particular moment because I had a particular idea about how this particular situation might roll out, and I have some moves planned. So I'm just going to let you know that I'm at 3.
Yeah, thanks.
And we
I'm so glad to
are
know that. Gee, yeah.
at
Thank you.
Erica and Krista. Who has? Oh, let's see. Erica had the better reflexes. So Erica, you get the next move if you want to react to her being sucked up. Sasha has gotten yanked forward. He's in sort of this mid-yanked forward sort of movement, and he's going boom, boom, boom at the. How many shots did you take, Sasha?
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. He takes a shot in this moment, and Doc's with the scalpel reaches in. And what do you do?
I think Joel's gonna aim and fire at this box thing.
Just shooting right at the box?
Yep.
Okay. Engage in combat for me.
Dear Lord.
15.
Oh.
Hey, hey, hey.
Very good. How much damage does your particular handgun do?
2.
2?
Mhm.
Thank you. And then that leaves us with Blythe.
Does this thing that's coming out of the box count as a monstrous creature?
Oh.
What does your monstrous creature bonus entail? Read that to me.
It's my divine. There's something about me that reminds my former servants of what I truly am. Whenever you encounter a monstrous creature, roll plus soul.
No, this one wouldn't. This one wouldn't
Okay.
work.
Well,
Of what?
all right. Well, I have a knife in my hand, so I guess I'll just.
You don't have a knife in a hand. You have my knife in your hand.
Get it straight.
It's mine now, I think. So I'll just go and start whacking at it, slicing at it.
Okay. Roll engage in combat. I love it. Everybody gets an attack move. Everybody's going after the slime.
Teaming together.
Yeah, it wasn't my intent.
Oh no.
Oh, I missed it.
Did I
Which
do
one?
it?
Did you roll?
Oh.
Did you get it?
Oh,
There
Oh
it
my
is.
god.
Wow.
My God, you're
Wow.
gonna stab somebody.
Hang on a second.
Oh, Lord.
Not better than a 9. I'm not very violent. I don't know how to use a knife.
That's all right. You all make a move, and you all actually. It's not like you miss, right? You're slicing at, for all practical purposes, a liquid. So you hit it, but it just doesn't really do anything. You make it parts. Where the bullet hits on the side, and where Sasha's bullet hits. It makes a black sizzling. A little bit of smoke comes up, and it does some damage to this thing, but every time it does that, Harvey gets pulled harder and deeper, and by the time all of you have gotten to this point, Harvey is like waist deep into the box from the top of the surface. Like, all that's left of Harvey out in the air is his butt and legs, and it is moving into this puddle now, is what it appears like, because he seems to be going down into this stuff.
Right.
Can I grab onto Sasha, who's like attached to Harvey, and like start pulling?
Yeah. Oh
I'm
my
gonna-
God.
I'm gonna-
Yeah, we gotta get him out of there.
Well, it would be like that, but when Doc rolled up with his scalpel, he cut the flannel into 2 pieces, and Sasha sprang back to the floor and is no longer attached to Harvey.
All right. Well,
That's
can we
that's
go?
2 of my
Yeah.
moves: sucking Harvey in and breaking
Can
your
we-
shirt.
Can we grab his feet?
Yeah, can we grab Harvey?
Can Harvey try to do something?
So
You're
this is,
stuck.
this is definitely a threatening situation. Yeah, I'm acting first. I'm spending a 6 cents point, and I'm acting first.
Okay, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna get to you, girls.
I'm gonna do my best to grab Harvey by the belt and start tugging back as Joel, tries to pull me back. I'd lean forward and grab hold of Harvey and try to pull Harvey back.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes around to me, I will be using Genius.
Ooh, that sounds pretty cool.
Can
Sasha,
I do like absolutely nothing?
You're like head first in the goo.
let's do an act under pressure.
For me?
No, Sasha,
Sasha?
going for the reach.
Oh!
Mm,
Uh,
better than a 9.
oh my god.
God bless.
Just stacking
R.I.P.
them.
Harvey Winston.
So Sasha gets a hold of Harvey, but when you pull, nothing happens. It's as if she's part of the cube. Okay, now I believe
It says that
Krista.
he is part of the cube.
Yeah, it is as if he is part of the cube.
Yikes.
This is-
Jaylee,
Would you consider this magic?
Well, it's not a monster.
it is not magic.
Dang
Oh,
it.
God, what is
One of
it?
my found abilities is I can disperse magic targeting me, and I didn't know if that applied.
Yeah, no. Just to let you know what's going on, when you are down in this, you are in a black void. You can breathe. You don't feel like you're submerged in any liquid. And you can see that somewhere off in the black in front of you, there is a foggy spot of light. And it's actually Erica's turn to make a move at this time, and then I'm going to do Krista next. And then, Chris, you can do your genius.
Okay, so Joel is gonna also grab onto Harvey and try to pull with Sasha.
Okay, act under pressure for me. A 19.
Yes.
A lot better.
Oh,
Nice. You get a hold of Sasha without any problem at all, and the both of you start to pull, and it feels like for a moment you get a little bit of momentum going, and it feels like you've pulled her out a little bit, but she's still bent over the edge of this cube from about, rib cage down, still bent into the liquid. Krista, what were you wanting to do?
Pull.
Pull!
Pull.
Pull in her.
So you're gonna okay. So
Are we gonna just train up and keep?
do an act
That's
under
just
pressure.
nonsense.
Aw,
Act
you
under
guys
pressure.
care.
We do care so much.
you're a
It's-
celebrity. If we lost two in 2 days, it would be
First, Charlie Sheen.
Listen, as close as I've gotten to Blythe over the last 16 hours,
True.
you have years with me, my friend. So, yeah.
Long
Yeah.
time.
And I like Sasha, so I just gotta pull on you. So
Do you not like Harvey?
he's okay.
I just don't want anyone to get hurt. I got a 13.
With the 13, you also get a hold of Harvey and contribute to what feels like is going to be the ability to pull her out. But because it was a 13, then there is an unexpected complication, and that is that you slip and fall in this substance, and you lose your grip on Harvey, who now goes in and has just thighs, knee, calves, and feet as you're hanging up. And Chris, what was genius?
Whenever I find myself in a life-threatening situation, I roll plus soul to see if I can discover a way out. Now, it is not life-threatening to me directly, so I don't know that it applies, but, I mean...
It just says a life-threatening situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Roll it?
No. This is because you're a genius, and you have started to notice that Harvey has stopped thrashing as much. You still see movement, but not thrashing as if in a panic of death. And you, because you're a genius, realize that you don't think there is a possibility of death in this particular situation. You're not certain that she's going to die just because she goes through this portal.
Also, you keep saying she.
She, I'm sorry.
It's
It's he.
alright. I'm a girl. Harvey's a boy. It's complicated.
It's complicated.
So, Harvey has disappeared into the goo.
Is disappearing into the goo. You guys are getting pulled in with him, and as he gets to the point to where all you have left are calf and ankle, he slips through and you lose your grip off of all this oily, bloody, red stuff.
Hi, Mew.
Boundaries.
I look
What
at
are
Joel.
boundaries?
Sasha looks at Joel. Couple quick glances. I'm going in.
Oh.
And Sasha goes right in after.
When you dive at the cube, you slide right across the top of that 4-foot block as if it was just a complete solid block, and all of what was the bloody stuff on it just kind of spills out of the way. And you notice that the red and the black and the white kind of starts to congeal just a little bit and leaves behind this clearish sort of slimy wetness around it, and it sort of starts to clump off of the top of the block and splat to the floor, and you just slide and hit the other side of the thing, splashing around in this gooey shit.
Well, that's not good.
Sasha hits the floor on the other side and stands back up. No, and starts pounding on the top of the cube. I don't know if I can do it or not, but I'm gonna try to use Wayfinder.
No.
The
No,
cube isn't a
It's,
door. Wait, does the cube have a peephole? That's the first sign of a door.
There we go. There we go.
If anything has a peephole, it's automatically a door.
So I'm going to stop you just at this moment. I'm going to let you go ahead and make your attempt at Wayfinder, but it's as you you pull your arm out and start looking at your tattoo. Is that how that process starts?
Yeah.
We're going to have just a little dramatic cut in the scene. You all have witnessed this. Blythe, this is about the time you're getting up after you have already slipped and fallen on your ass. And Joel has run around. You were also kind of slipping and sliding. Everybody made their attempt to save Harvey. But Harvey, you fall very slowly for just about 10 seconds. And you kind of land in a prone position. You kind of thud on the floor, but it's only as if you had dropped from about 3 inches high. It doesn't hurt you. You fall down and just kind of thud. There's a little bit of poof of dust. You notice that right beside you is an identical cube to the one that you saw above. However, there's no red, slimy, bloody, yucky ichor. It's just a clean it looks white. It's kind of dark in here, but you realize as you look up and around, you are in just this massive chamber, like multiple football stadiums. And it seems to be as if you were standing inside the rib cage of a giant person who, if they stood on their feet, they would be waist high above the clouds of the earth, is how big and massive this thing is. Except the inside of these rib bones, these rib-like beams that move across the ceiling with this one giant central piece, they're all squared and angular looking. They're not smooth and round like you would expect bones to be. And you can see, and you're in the center of this. You look to one end and it's just way down there. I mean, it looks like it may be a half a mile end to end, and maybe even an eighth of a mile from where you stand to the top of the ceiling. And you can look down at one end of this, and there's just this soft kind of light. You're not really sure where it comes from, just this glowy kind of light that sort of barely lights up the inside of this. So you can kind of see, it's kind of like a stadium that's got its night lights on. You know, you can just kind of see what's going on in certain spots, a little bit enough just to see. And at the end, you see a semicircle of thrones. Very recognizable from where you are. Looks like 10 thrones with people, humanoids, sitting in them. You can't really make out any facial features from where you're at. But then you realize, because of your perspective of them from where they are at what is obviously the end of this thing, half a mile away, that they must be 15, 20 stories tall. These creatures. They're just immense. And there's 10 of them, all sitting in this semicircle. In the center, or not at the end, you're in the center, but they're at the end of this massive, giant chamber. And they have shadows that are cast off on the wall behind them in some weird sort of, you can't even understand how it's possible, but they're obviously shadows because it's a much darker, and they move and they sort of have this shape to them like a shadow would have, except they move as if they have their hands on the seated creature's shoulders. And they move from side to side as if they're whispering in the ears of these giants that sit in these thrones.
Do I still see the lady anywhere?
What do you mean?
Because when I looked into the cube before, I had seen her, or at least the swirl with the eye. Is that...
That vision went away as soon as your face went in the goo.
Okay.
Your appearance, when you felt the tendrils and as it was drawing you into the block, it looked like you were being pulled into the swirl. And from what you thought, you were going to get sucked off into oblivion just because of the nature of the swirl. That's where your brain thought, oh my God, I'm gone. You thought you were going for a ride. And then it was just kind of wait, what's going on? I'm on the floor.
And these giants notice me?
They don't seem to move at all. But are you going to get a little closer? You can.
Well, he landed,
right.
And it took him a moment to figure out his bearings. He's probably really tired, and he just lays on his back for a moment and stares at the ceiling with his hand out, the flannel kind of dangling from his wrists.
Right.
And he, while laying down, he looks around and he sees the box first thing. And then he looks over and he sees these giants. And without getting up just yet, he's going to try to like shimmy over and grab the box.
Well, now this box is another big...
Oh, it's a big one?
Yeah,
oh, I thought it was a mini.
It's a big cube, just like the big one that you got sucked into from up above.
Okay. Well, then he will, as quietly and non-conspicuously as possible, he's going to head towards the cube.
Okay. It's pretty much right next to you. It's like you fell right next to it. And as you are starting to get to your feet and you're looking down there at those weird creatures, you notice a little bit of light bounces off of them. And they do have a humanoid form, except you realize that they don't have eyes or noses or mouths. They're just kind of this thin-skinned sort of. You can kind of see that, it gives off sort of a pale, veiny look, but as you start to think that maybe they're statues, but then you notice one of them has a movement underneath the skin where his eyes would be, or where their eyes would be. Another one, you can see its long, bony fingers squeeze on the ends of its throne as its shadow whispers in its ear. And as you get up and start to move your way closer to the big block, I'm assuming to attempt to get out.
Yeah, I also want to roll to observe a situation.
Oh, okay. Make your roll.
Um,
14.
14. So ask one question.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Any question you want.
What is my best way through this? Like, out of this? Does it seem to be the box? Do I see another doorway? Do I get a feeling about the light that that's where I should go?
That's a really good question. The best way out of this. That's one of those game breaking questions. All right. Let me think on that for a second, because as Harvey asks his divinity the best way out of this, up in the room as Sasha has gone and is making this emotional pound and is about to roll for Wayfinder, I need Dr. Kennedy. Actually, that won't apply because this situation is not under control. Sasha, before you, where are you at on your scale? You're muted.
No.
I'm irrational. I'm meta. I am -2 to keep it together.
Irrational.
Yikes.
I am also -2 to disadvantage rolls right now as well.
When you try to do your Wayfinder, you can't. I still have a move left.
Yeah, you do, you son of a bitch. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so Sasha, you guys all see it, you know what I mean? I slide across the cube and I hit the floor hard on the other side and I stand up and I'm screaming no and I'm pounding on the cube and you see me and I pull back my sleeve and I, you know what I mean? And I clench my fist and I go to put my hand on it and nothing happens. And I look at it and I put my hand down again and nothing happens.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, Sasha, Joel says as she's like walking towards you. I don't think that's necessarily a door or something, and I don't necessarily think we can control it.
Yeah, but we have to do something.
I'm not saying we shouldn't do anything.
Well,
Let's just take a minute.
There are no
Stop.
minutes.
Stop. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to take a
promised-
fucking chill pill, bro.
I promised Harvey that I would help him get the box. I promised Harvey that I would help him.
We will find him, and he is going to be just fine, Sasha. I promise you, we're all going to get through this.
But beating your hand to a bloody pulp on this stupid cube isn't helping anyone.
Erica.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Joel.
Yes.
I want you to roll perception. What is that? Observe a situation.
Yep.
Observe a situation. 14.
14.
Better than a 9.
Better than a 9.
Okay. What are my options here? For 14, I get to ask one question. What is being hidden from me?
As you start to assess this situation, okay, shit, Sasha, because that was probably your first instinct too, was to go into the goo. Like, shit, she went in, we're going in after her. Because, you run towards that sort of stuff as opposed to away from it.
Right.
Sasha, we got to be proud of him. He's freaking out enough that he's going after Harvey no matter what. That was brave. But what is being hidden from you is because as you were gathering in this situation, you hear footsteps. Multiple shuffling footsteps with a sort of dragging noise, and then you also hear sort of a mumbling conversation between two people. And it seems to be coming from the big hallway on the far side of the room from the doors.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I don't like this. Okay, so Joel hears the footsteps, hears kind of the mumbling, and immediately slaps her hand over Sasha's mouth to get him to stop talking.
Krista?
Wait. Yes.
I'm sorry. I need to write down the right names. Blythe.
Yes.
You just saw Harvey go into the goo.
Yeah.
Sasha tried to go. What are you doing?
I think I'm looking around the room trying to find another way to get out of here, because obviously the cube's not going to help us. So I think we need to keep on keeping on.
Okay. Roll your observe a situation for me, your perception. I'm going to make you guys sling some dice for me tonight.
Good God. It's a 6. Not better than a 9.
No, that's not. Where
I'm
did
angry.
do I still have
I'm
my
going to
list
start
down?
using my own dice. Roll 20 keeps doing this. I'm
Yeah.
angry.
I hear that from time to time. A 6.
What
You get
is
to
that?
ask a question, any question you want.
But
There will be a cost.
I don't want any costs, please.
I get a move.
Okay, one second. Is there another way to get to where Harvey's at?
No.
Great.
Fantastic. Great. Okay.
Ernie. Shit's gone wrong.
I declare that I know about this place.
I'm
Ernie!
ready.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
He's ready.
What do I know about this place
God damn it.
from my past study?
And this is your arcane researcher, right?
Yes, it is.
Just make it better than a 9, please.
Hopefully.
It's not. He didn't even have to roll for this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ask the GM what you learned from your past studies. Plots. Okay, so yeah. Okay. You have noticed the symbols on the doors. Did you look at your handouts I gave you?
I haven't gotten a chance to yet.
That's all right, because I'm going to pop them up on the screen here and roll 20.
I see them.
I want to see.
They're all creepy.
Secrets.
Creepy, scary.
5.
Spooky.
Spooky, scary.
There were 6.
Mew is being feisty as shit tonight.
Love that.
He's got claws out, buried in my forearm right now,
Love that.
constantly attacking all of my cords.
The handout number 1 is the symbol that was on the door that you guys came in through. And what you know about this particular room is that this is You've determined that it's a portal room of one fashion or another. Actually, in multiple fashions. 6 doors plus the cube thing. Multiple portals. So to say it's a portal room sort of doesn't do it justice. But you have read about somebody having a similar experience in a place like this that didn't know where anything had gone, but had then traveled down the darkened hallway into nothingness. Any person that ever, anything that you ever studied where a person had gone down the hallway was never heard from again. And you had to know the name of the Archon to open the door from inside the room. Otherwise, you end up just staying inside this room until you two are valuable enough to get sucked down into the cube.
Valuable.
So was I smart enough to then memorize names of Archons?
You don't know the names of the Archons.
Well, that's rude.
You can't be a know-it-all.
That's literally my whole thing.
Yeah, that's kind of his thing.
Don't joke.
That's the one thing you're not there yet.
Dying.
I can't give you that one.
Can I roll reason for that one? Like, oh no, I totally know about
I
this.
read it in a book in first grade.
It's in there somewhere.
I've done a lot of reading in 40 years.
I'll let you start peering back into your mind as you study the runes on the door. I think I know this. I think I know this. I think I know this.
Yeah, because I remember I took, in my little notebook, I, did quick sketches of all of the symbols.
Right. No, I remember you taking the sketches. Because you have from the outside. What's that? Blythe?
While he's thinking about things, can I start meandering around the room?
Yes.
That's probably not wise if Joel heard a bunch of shambling.
Well,
Oh,
she
that's
didn't.
right.
Did you see anything?
You
Yes.
did see her just
I
suddenly
got a
slap
hand
her
over
hand
Sasha's mouth.
over Sasha's
Oh,
mouth.
right. All right. What's going on there, Joel? What you got? What is it, girl?
Shush. Everybody needs to shush
Be
right now. I swear
Quiet,
to God.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's great. Shut the hell up. Holy crap, people.
What? Just spit it out, lady.
I'm hearing something, and it sounds like people are coming this way. So shut up.
Yeah, the noises. The noises get louder and louder, and then you do see 2 figures start to come out of the darkness from the hallway, and they look sort of like mini versions of the butcher that you had encountered before. They've got the same rubber apron with the bloody white wife beater t-shirt. These 2 guys have got on surgical masks, however, and they're wearing these like really dark black colored peeper type sunglasses that seem to be really small for their head and kind of sucked into their eye socket just a little bit, and their faces are starting to get that muscular bulge but haven't quite gotten there. They're not any taller than your regular 6'1" size guy, but they're coming out of this hallway, both carrying one of those long cleavers, that's got about 1.5 foot long blade, and they are dragging the body of a person as they walk by the feet. And this person has no clothes or anything like that. It's just a cadaver. Is the best way to describe it. Not in the best of shape, but it's mostly there.
Box still there? Or did it collapse entirely into the floor?
No, it's still there. It's just all of that red has fallen and congealed and gone to the floor and started to blacken, and now it's just got this clear, wet, KY jelly feeling looking kind of goo left.
Okay. Well, if Joel like pointed in the direction of wherever she heard those things and I look and I see that, then I'm going to continue thinking but move on to the other side of the box.
Yeah, can we all crouch on
we
the other
hide?
side of the box?
It's only 5 feet by 5 feet, so, you know, 2 small
Well-
people could probably try to crouch back there. But
I fit.
It's like Joel and Blythe are fine.
Sorry, suckers.
They're smaller looking versions of the butchers, right?
yeah, they look like butchers, but the one that you saw was a really big 7-foot beastie looking sized guys. These guys just look like ugly men. Not like small versions of the Incredible Hulk.
Jojo, you still have your hand on my mouth? Or are we moving?
Yeah, lick her or something so you get her hand off your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. You can try. I've still got my hand over there. Blythe and I are kind of like arguing because I'm telling her to shut up and she's still talking.
Okay, then I'm gonna slap your hand off my mouth and I'm gonna grab the 2 of you and we're gonna shove around the other side of the box and try to scrunch up and all scrunch together and hide. I mean, if it's 5 feet wide, we should be able to go side, 2 side to side and then 2 right in front of us on the other side of the steps, just down. I mean, we won't be perfectly hidden, but we'll at least be out of sight.
Right.
Did they notice us? Did the baby butchers notice us?
We're about to find out. The baby butchers. That's hilarious.
They're tiny butchers. It's cute.
They're just baby butchers.
They're miniatures.
Because, I don't know, Blythe is feeling pretty feisty.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's guns drawn.
What else is new?
Ducking. We're just ducking.
Rat. Always.
All right, so I'm going to give everybody a roll. You can either keep it together or you can act under pressure.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to run to the restroom.
Okay.
Together.
Are we entering a dangerous situation?
Yes.
Okay, then I want to
I'm gonna act under pressure.
before I make my act, or either way, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm going to use Daredevil. Because when we're, so I'm going to roll plus perception.
So
Okay.
I rolled to keep it together because I'm still trying to remember what I think I remember. And I rolled a 14
Ooh.
while I am trying to hide.
I'm going to roll a keep it together so I can muster up everything that's in me so I can maybe use my divine advantage on these baby butchers.
Okay. Hang on to your keep it together for just a second.
Don't roll it?
No, don't roll it just yet.
Okay.
Oh,
I rolled 17 on perception on my Daredevil.
Okay.
So I get 3 moves
Yes.
during the scene. So
Very good. And you can pull those out whenever you want.
3 edges, I'm sorry.
3 edges.
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy, you rolled a 14 on keep it together.
Yep. Better than a 9.
That is
Better than a
much
9.
better than a 9.
Oh, we still don't have that, do we? Air horn.
Okay, so you do get to duck down and avoid being seen right away by these 2 creatures.
I
But
didn't do that.
it does, because you didn't get a 15, it does give you a -1, and you have to choose one of these conditions, which are all pretty much, let's see.
Fucking terrible, because this game is horrible. Horror, I mean, not horror, it's horrible.
Horrible.
Horror filled? Yeah, there we go, that's better. Horror filled. And everything is awful for all of our characters all the time.
That's amazing. All right, so you're going to
And it's glorious, and we can't stop thinking about it.
That's
so.
the thing. Yeah. Like, we love this game. It is not horrible by any stretch of the imagination.
no, but that anger of the 14, like if I just gotten, did I duck down fast enough before these guys saw me? It kind of makes you angry. It's just part of you being an old man, and you do
Harumph.
lose. Yeah, you lose a stability.
What?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Sucks.
No.
Ridiculous.
So
I'm
Curtis,
unfocused.
Yes.
do you want to give me the option to act under pressure or keep it together, or do you just want me to roll keep it together?
No, I gave everybody the option on that one because everybody is trying to duck down behind the box, right? Or the cube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that the goal that we're trying to do? Everybody's trying
Yes.
to hide from these two guys that are walking in.
Okay.
That is
Exactly
better than a 9. Yeah.
as good as mine.
Wow, I get another move. Good. I had used
It's-
some of those. So.
He
Were
was
you getting
flushed
bored,
out, y'all.
Curtis?
You
So
think-
in my attempts to get everybody else, I grab hold of Blythe and I grab hold of Joel and I, turn them and start running them toward the other side. It's obviously your move, but I get them out of the way, but I think that I'm probably exposed to the danger.
Yeah, it's about the time because Joel rolled a 9 too. And Blythe, what was your roll?
Well, you told me to hold on
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
that's
I
right.
was-
You didn't get your roll yet, did you?
Yeah.
So I got my 2 9s over there. Feeling pretty good with those. And let's go ahead and see what happens when Blythe. What were you going to roll?
Keep it
together?
keep it together.
Okay.
Right? Would you
Yeah.
do that?
It's
Okay.
your choice.
I feel like she has to
Where do you have the bigger bonus?
they're both a 1,
Oh, well.
so that's not helpful.
Okay, then it doesn't really matter. You can
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, it's a 13 though.
A 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
Yes, Ray Charles.
I'm just looking at seeing which between the two which one is the worst or the better. Which is pretty much I can either like hamper you with a stability loss or you end up with a complication anyway. So I'm going to take the complication. And you do get ducked down, but Sasha and Joel, as you have gotten the other two down behind, just kind of in your fashion, as you go down, you get the others in, and now I'm going behind, is when out the corner of your eye, you realize that both of the creatures, both of the men of some fashion, I suppose, have stopped, dropped the legs that they were holding on to of the person that they were dragging, and are looking at you and have raised their cleavers.
Okay, I'm going to use Daredevil. I'm going to use the first of my Daredevils, and I'm going to get the jump on them, and I'm going to harm them before they can react.
Okay.
So they take 2 harm.
2 harm. Very good. Where's my notes here?
The one on the right takes 2 harm. So yeah, so I get down and Joel, I think, just for flavor, you know what I mean? Joel's kind of like, no, I'm not fucking backing down from these pricks, and you know what I mean? Kind of shrugs me off, and I get Blythe down, and I just turn around and raise my gun and just bang, just start walking toward them. You know what I mean? Taking no pause.
Okay.
I couldn't protect Harvey. I couldn't save Harvey, but damn it, I'm gonna do my damnedest to save these guys. So Sasha fires.
Yeah, you shoot the one in the right, center mast. And it goes right in the chest, and he staggers back about a foot and then sort of looks down, and with his one free hand sort of pokes his finger at the hole a little bit and looks down at the smoke that's rising up from where the burnt rubber of where it hit him, the bullet hit, and he stops there. But you did take 2 damage on him.
Sweet.
Okay.
And then that means Joel gets to move next.
Joel, so just like Sasha had said, he's trying to shove her down. She realizes there's not probably enough time to get everybody covered. Shrugs him off, stands up, hears him fire first, and then she fires twice at the guy on the left.
Okay. Roll to engage in combat. I gave Sasha a freebie because he had rolled for it earlier on the engage. You have to actually roll unless you use something special. 14. Very nice. You get your 2 damage on the one on the left. However, there is a cost. And as you reach out and fire at the one on the left, the reason you chose the one on the left as opposed to the one on the right is 1, because you saw Sasha put a bullet in its chest, and you're expecting that it's just going to probably fall over dead in a second. And 2, the other one has lunged towards you, and it gets all the way up to you as you fire straight into it. And it swings its cleaver at you and slices a gash in your arm. And you take 2 damage.
Yikes.
Damage.
How do you mark that? Does anybody know?
Second
my
page,
damage.
second page of your character sheet.
Okay.
The
Character
top,
sheet,
the
page
top left, it says wounds.
Right.
And so you click the first box, and then you click the second box.
I can't click Boxy. It won't let me click it.
If it's doing something funky, just...
there we go. I just had to make it bigger.
Oh.
And then 2. So I got
Yeah.
2 damage.
Yeah.
Dang it.
First box and the second box.
All right.
That's not good.
So is it the one that I shot that was reaching out and hit her, or is it the one that she shot that's reaching out and hit her?
The one that she shot, because it had run up on her as she was... You shot the other one. The other one was coming in and making its move. That would bring us to Blythe. You are at this moment unseen and behind the block, and you know that combat has begun between the folks with guns.
I'm ready. All right, let's go.
Oh, God.
She takes a second to herself. She knows what she's gonna do. She's done it before. She's gonna try it again because it didn't really fail the last time. It wasn't great, but it didn't really fail. So she takes a moment, and then she stands up, and she walks herself in between, Sasha and Joel, and she's gonna use divine. She's gonna give these guys a talking to.
Now
God.
you boys
I
just
love this power.
It's so good the way you express it. It just makes me.
Should I give my speech first or should I roll first?
You need to roll first.
Okay.
4. Oh no, that's Joel.
For
That's mine.
soul. Oh dear God. Okay, please roll 20. God damn it.
Oh my God.
Damn it. Fucking ass. Well, I got a 3 last time and I didn't get hurt.
Yeah, you still get to
so-
choose. You still get to choose one of the options.
All right. Love it. Let's see.
Not better than a 9.
No, definitely not better than a 9.
Let's all right, let's command it again. Let's command the creature.
Which one are you commanding? They're both currently still standing.
Well,
Whichever one you do, make it attack the other one.
it should-
One is stopped at the entrance of the room to the hallway.
One is right in front of us.
Sasha shot it. The other one, Joel shot, but it lunged forward and sliced a nice bloody gash on her arm.
Okay, we'll do that one. We'll do the second one because I feel like
And
that one's.
what do you command it to do?
Listen here, mister. You have taken it way too far. How dare you lay your hands on one of my friends?
Friends.
Now, I need you to back up at least 5 paces and turn around and go back the way you came, okay? You have no business being here. I need you to get going right now. Please.
Okay. As you command it to stop, it stops its movement and it looks directly at you. From what you can tell, I mean, it points its head in your direction. It has those black glasses on that you can't see through, but it looks directly at you, and you see its kind of wet, mottled face, and like it's growing beyond what it should be at a rate faster than it's supposed to be. And it's definitely got all of its attention direct on you, but it does stop and kind of look back over its shoulder towards the hallway from which it came. And it's at that moment is where we cut back to Harvey.
All right.
Dude.
You had your fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're right.
I'm gonna go pee then while we're doing that.
Okay.
Just make sure that that you do better than a 9, Harvey. Because
I'll bet than a 9.
Right now, he's just kind of like slowly approaching the cube and trying his best to just not look at the scary giants. Because if you don't look at them, maybe they won't notice you.
Yeah, as you start to get over towards the, you're just doing your little sneaky, I'm just going to kind of slide over here towards this cube thing. Don't mean to bother you big ugly guys down there. You hear somebody start to run in this sort of shuffling, like they're dragging their feet, like they're running in slippers or something, towards you rather quickly, from the darkness just to the opposite side of you from where the cube is. So like the cube is here to your left. The thrones are in front of you. You are like sliding over here looking at the thrones. To your right on this side, you hear somebody like they're shuffling up on you.
Okay, this cube, is there any way, is it like solid? Is there any way to like push it?
Looks like a giant stone block.
Okay, can I try to duck behind the cube and use I want to duck behind the cube, flip out the knife or the blade that Sasha gave me, and I want to use my improviser skill to try to set a trap that gives me a surprise advantage.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot. I like it.
Roll plus coolness.
Roll.
Hey, it's
Okay.
a 12.
It is, in fact, better than a 9.
That's okay, because
That's
it's
better
just,
than a 9.
that's all I needed.
I don't have that one on your sheet yet. What one was that?
Improviser. Whenever you attempt to get out of a dangerous situation by winging it, roll plus coolness. With a 10 to 14, I choose one option, and the option I'm choosing is to set a trap that gives you a surprise advantage, which means +2 to your first attack move.
Okay, and so you're planning on to spring in an attack on whatever this is that's running up at you?
Yeah.
Okay. As you duck down behind the block and get your opportunity to spring, and you do, as it gets closer, it gives its position away because it starts to let out this horrific, fearful scream, just this, you can't even really make sense of it, just this terrible scream. And he comes around the block and kind of stops because he saw you kind of duck back there, and you're going to get him with your knife.
I mean, this thing seems obviously aggressive.
It's a robed figure. It comes around and doesn't seem to make any moves at you as you get ready to lunge at him with your knife. But you notice that it is probably male, but very thin and gaunt, completely hairless. One of his eyes has been sewn shut, probably what seems to be years ago. The other is bloodshot with some of those spots, like you get these bloodshot spots in some of these people that just seem to never go away. And he seems to be, he's in a robe of white, sort of an off-white color. Thin.
Dang it. I just saw I could have chosen to hide from a pursuer.
It's a pretty
Too late
big
to
room.
change.
Dang it.
It's a pretty big
Such
room.
your trap.
It would just be he'd just be chasing each other around this block into infinity. And
Okay.
on his skin, you notice that there are little, thin, tiny, bleeding lacerations all over his head, all over his face. You notice that there are little tiny spots of blood visible on the robe, scattered around where it has absorbed blood from some underlying wound. All of the exposed skin that you see has just these thinnest of cuts, and none of them any longer than like an inch or two.
Oh god, that sounds spooky.
And he comes around, and he doesn't stop, but he is very in your face and kind of leers at you as you come at him with your knife, screaming, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here?"
I don't know. And he's gonna hop out and lunge at him with the knife. He just kind of like yells back at him, and it's unintelligible.
Right, and you get a cut on him and do the damage, and he kind of falls back and lets out this scream, but inside that scream is this sound that is it's like as if he enjoyed it in some sort of fashion. And then
Harvey, he rips the leftover like flannel off of his arm and shoves it down this guy's mouth.
it's at that moment that you hear this booming voice that echoes throughout the entirety of this chamber, like if it was spoken from some god, that says, "Silence, Gimp." And then you see what looks to be like a thin wire, barely visible, like fishing line size, that sort of just shoots out from nowhere and lashes the robed man. And you see just this little flick of a paper cut on the, and he jerks and screams and then lets out this follow-up moan of enjoyment and ecstasy from the pain. And he gets down on his hands and knees and starts like rubbing his hands on the floor with this sort of whiny, pleasuring moan, saying, "Archons, Archons, Archons, Archons," just over and over and over. And then you start to hear voices. different voices, very loud. Sometimes it seems like they're coming from the end of the hall. Sometimes it seems like they come from the end of your head. But you hear them in these booming whispers. That's the Winston. Winston. Julian Winston. Harvey Winston. Winston. Julian. Harvey. Just saying different parts of your name over and over. All these different voices coming from all these different places.
Yeah, he sees the guy get on the ground and hears the voices, and he kind of like gasps and grips the knife and backs up against the cube because that's the closest thing to have at his back at the moment, considering the walls are far. He's like, what do you want? Where am I?
And you hear these same voices, and then suddenly it sounds as if they're talking to themselves or amongst themselves, perhaps. Just the tone of the conversation, it's like you're in the room but they're talking about you. And you hear one of them ask, "Is it the god's toy?" And the other one answers, "It's the cursed one from Elysium." And then a woman's voice, "Winston, Julian Winston, Harvey Winston."
Well, you know my name.
And then
what's yours?
another voice says, "Winston can stop Malkuth from breaking Manhattan." And at that moment, you see about 10 feet in front of you on the floor a tiny bronze-colored box. You didn't see it before, but it's there now.
Yeah, as soon as he sees that, he's gonna push off from the cube and run. Just run to scoop it up and try to find a way out of there as fast as possible.
When you grab up that little box, it's smaller. It's about half the size of like a Rubik's Cube, just a couple inches cubed all the way around. On each one of the 6 sides is an etched symbol that look like the ones that I just popped the handouts out for the others that they saw on the doors upstairs. So they're the same symbols on each side of the little box. And you notice that it's a box because you can see just the finest of a line that goes around the top of one end, as if you could pop, as if you could open it. And then you hear sort of an argument begin. The voices take on some very different tones in their head, and you hear one of them mention the box. You got the box, and one of them laughs. Of course he's got the box. Of course he's got the box. And then one, Winston can be the new Gimp. And then another one says, "No, Winston has to go to the tower and open the box." And the other one says, "I want Winston." And that voice you recognize as the voice of the lady that you have heard in your head before. And then the other one, the voice that was similar to hers but sort of different, that you felt pulling on you this entire time, the voice of the I says something about, "He should come to me." And you feel this draw, as if you like, yes, that's the one I want, that's the one I want. As like you can't even control it. And then you hear another voice, the lady's voice, and she says, "Winston only has 7 days. And when she says days, you, out of the corner of your eye, see another one of those wires flicker just out of nowhere, from out of the darkness. And as you turn to look towards the bowing Gimp to see where he takes the lash, you feel it hit your cheek, just like somebody had taken a slice of paper or something and just flicked it right across your cheekbone. And you reach up and it burns and stings, and a little bit of blood on your finger. And then you hear that same voice, the new Gimp, new Gimp, new Gimp. And they argue.
Hell nah.
They argue some more amongst themselves, talking about who gets you and who you belong to and what you can do. And they keep mentioning the tower and Malkuth and saving Manhattan. And then finally, one of the voices says, Harvey, take the box, go to the cube, go to the tower.
Where's this tower? I have no idea what you're talking about. There's a lot of people talking right now.
How long have you lived in New York? You've lived in New York your whole life,
All
right?
his life, yeah.
It's like what you could imagine is if you were in one of those old time, really hand to God Bible tent revivals where the preacher comes by and does this thing where he grabs the person on the head and they have this moment of power and it forces the person to their seat after they have that experience. And you have a moment like that where somebody has literally just kind of grabbed your head and sticks this vision in your head, and it is the vision of one of the New York's premier new skyscrapers. It's only about 6 or 7 years old, and it is known as Trump Tower.
Oh no.
Manhattan great again.
Oh, I don't want to go now.
And with that vision and the box in your hand, you know then that it's clear in your head what your mission is. You have to take this to the top of Trump Tower and open it.
In 7 days.
Yeah, it's very clear from the argument and the conversations about who gets who and what's what. After it all, they keep talking about the cursed, and yes, you have 7 days left.
Yeah, well, I'm getting out of there as soon as possible. I get the vision, I get the box, I make sure to stuff it like deep into a pocket, and I turn tail, I hop over the Gimp, and I'm running to the cube to try to get out of there.
When you get to the cube, you see a similar type of swirl. The top doesn't look stone anymore. It looks like they have opened the door for you to leave. However, it is a split image. One image, you see everything you've ever wanted in your life. That's just the only way to describe it because it hits you with that emotional pull. And on the other side, you see all of your friends in battle with two butchers that you had encountered before. And you realize, because you hear that same soothing voice in your head, that you can make all of this go away, Harvey, if you just choose this side. But if you want to go home and go through the tower and do what these people want you to do, then you can forego that and choose the hard and bloody path.
I gotta look at my stuff real quick.
Come
What
back
is
to me.
telling me this? Like,
Oh,
a voice is just telling me this? It's a feeling?
Yeah, it's the feeling that you've been getting ever since you started seeing the black swirl. That is, you've kind of thought it was the lady, but it's always been just a hair off for you. But it's always been this comforting, like, I can take all of your pain away. I can make all of this so much better for you and give you everything that you've ever wanted. That's always been the sensation that you feel whenever you concentrate or get kind of sucked into the thought process of those black swirls in the eyes whenever you've encountered those recently. And now you're getting that same situation where you know that taking the box, going back through, now that you see your friends, and they are not looking good. Joel has just taken this massive bloody gash across her arm, and you know that they're probably not going to make it, certainly without your extra help, but you could just go back to the way it was and forget about them and do and just go back to acting and just go back to the stage, and all of this will just go away.
Okay, I'm gonna roll plus reason.
Okay. Beautiful.
Because this is a legitimate, like, struggle for him. What does my gut feel about what I'm investigating? Because I've obviously been through a lot and I know not to completely trust.
Yeah, that's your initial instinct is something that you learned from, you don't even know, you've known it for as long as you've been able to be forming adult conscious thoughts in your head, is that does seem wonderful, but it almost seems too good to be true. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe if I went into the best situation that it's going to be the best situation.
Okay, I want to do one more thing before I decide. I want to use one of my bound abilities to call on my entity, and I just want to talk to the lady.
Okay.
So Harvey takes a moment and stares at the cube and stares at both sides, because one is so easy and simple, and then the other one, he looks at it and he doesn't want to go back to that. And then he looks back at the easy route, and then he looks back at the hard route. And of course, he sees Sasha, and he stares at Joel, and even at Blythe and Ernie a little bit. And he's not sure. He's hesitant. So he takes a moment and closes his eyes and tries to contact the lady.
When you reach out, it's like you don't even get that, hey, are you listening, sentence out of your head. You know, it's the, hey, are you? And you hear an immediate response from the lady as if she was in the room with you.
Okay, who is the eye? The fog, the eye, this guy who obviously wants me. Not a commodity, by the way. I'm sure you guys think that, but I'm a person. I'm sure that doesn't matter to you. So whatever. I don't know why I'm talking about it. But who is he? And if I get this box to your tower in 7 days, what do I get?
She is the one who waits below. She is nothing. She is the absence of everything. The ultimate release.
So not a friend, you'd say?
No. What was the second question?
What's in it for me bringing the box to the tower? Do I get what the fog has promised, or do I just get to keep going?
No. In 7 days, Harvey, it's over for you.
But even if I get the box to the tower, you just...
If you get the box to the tower, you save humankind.
And if I choose the other way, do I still have 7 days?
if you choose the lady who waits below, you will have nothing. It will all end.
All right. I know what I have to do. And with that, he doesn't even wait to hear anything else from her. He cuts off the connection, he shuts her out, and he opens his eyes and goes for the option with all his friends.
Thank you. Don't leave us.
It's just like he reaches a moment of steely resolve, like there's no hope for him.
Steely resolve.
Steely
I like
resolve.
that. Okay, so you're able to just dive right back into the cube. You know you've made a mental choice to go back to your friends. I did read you right on that. That's where you're headed.
Yep.
And to lend them some sort of aid in their distress. And in the midst of your actions, for the rest of you that are in that room, as you have just, Joel has just taken her swipe, Blythe has made her commandment for one of them to leave out. You see Harvey come splashing out of the top of the cube in the middle, only he's now covered in this clearish slimy substance with a few little clumps of what's left of the red substance that didn't get knocked off with Sasha's slide or gloop off the side as it congealed. There were still little bits of it, and Harvey just kind of comes up out of the monolith from inside with a gasp of breath and then over the edge. And
can I do something as soon as I get there?
Can we take a break before anyone does anything?
Yes, we can take a break. You're right. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. I know people keep slipping off to go pee. Yes.
I've been avoiding slipping off to go pee because I didn't want to miss anything.
I know, damn it! I couldn't hold it any longer.
I know.
So we're all out of frame. So
yeah, no, I need to go too. Yes, we're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll be. The frames are all messed up. Damn it!
Yeah.
How did that
We didn't
happen?
want to stop you,
We've
dude.
been-
It's
we've
maybe
been
like
on for the
40
last
minutes.
half an hour. Yeah.
We've been trying to find.
Hey, the fans know and they love us, so it's
Well,
all right.
I'm fine with being Blythe. I'm good with being adult.
You are the best, Blythe.
I am that
Except
sexy.
for
You're a pretty
I had
lady.
those fixed. All right, so you guys go to break, and I'm gonna fix these up real quick, and we will be right back. All right, we are back. Hello to the Raiders that just joined us. I saw that we popped in a little raid. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hello.
We've got an incredible story here going on. Harvey has just sprung forth from this
Curtis,
mystical cube. What?
you didn't switch there. Fix
We're still out
it.
of frame.
Oh, I'm Blythe now.
I did fix
I
it.
am
What
Now
happened?
you listen here, Curtis.
I have survived
Fix these
both.
frames.
You
I
fix
have
these
survived
Now.
both of the unframing.
I did fix those. What happened?
Okay,
I'm telling you,
so-
Zoom does weird stuff.
We gotta get.
Oh,
hold
and
on.
Duke's floating in the middle of it.
Even the names, that's not
There you
even,
go.
these aren't even how I had them assigned originally. This is so weird. That's
Sorry.
supposed to be the Sasha cam. No, that's all right. This stuff happens. It's like
Oh, I
live
meant to get a
theater.
beat.
I was just so engrossed in the story and stuff that I wasn't even really paying attention because I thought I had them right to start with.
Yeah,
And so
So were we, and
None
that's
of
why
us
we just
wanted
let it
to
go.
say anything. Yeah.
that's all right. Okay, so this, if you just tuned in, Raiders, this
Raider.
happens to me all the time. So don't worry about that. But this is the right people behind the right names. Let me double check just to make sure. Yeah, okay, Joel, Harvey, Sasha, Blythe.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Harvey has just seen the Archons, heard their conversation and argument, and has some inside information as to the end of the world, as the best he can comprehend it, has sprung forth from this cube portal object back into the room of doors with said box that is needed to accomplish the task. And in this room are the rest of her friends that she has been with over the last day or so, and they are battling these people that they have referred to as the butchers, because that's kind of what they look like, and they've got these big cleavers and aprons and scary. One of them has just been shot. They've both actually been shot. One of them is froze. You have sprung forth about ready to do an action, but Sasha gets to have the jump from his pre-session roll, and so he's pulling that one out on us now and is going to do something. What are you going to do, Sasha?
I'm gonna use I'm not gonna use Sixth Sense. I'm gonna use the second of my Daredevil edges that I have, and
of your 3 edges.
Of my 3 edges that I have, and I'm gonna get the jump on them, and I'm gonna harm my opponent again before they can react, and I'm gonna do it to the one that I shot the first time, the one that's still across the room.
Okay, the one that you kind of pushed back.
They'll take 2 harm.
And at his little hole, and then does take the 2 extra harm. That was the one on the right.
Yes.
With that, since he jumped up to the top and Harvey is the next in the order, we'll just go right back into I'm just going to call it initiative order. I know that's a complete 5e thing, but it's the only thing I can think of right now to call it in the order of battle, which does put Harvey. That means you're next. So you do get to pop out. You hear Sasha, boom, another gunshot goes off, and you see one of those butchers take another shot to the chest. Was kind of had his head down already and was looking at the first hole that Sasha had just put in him, because there was still a little bit of smoke wisps curling up because of the burning rubber apron from where the bullet hit, and you have gotten your breath and see the situation. And what were you going to do?
Well, I rolled for my advantage inner power. You harbor a mysterious power which you do not fully understand. The power can protect you, but you have no control over it. Whenever you release your inner power, roll plus soul. I haven't used this yet, but Curtis said that I can be pretty willy-nilly with it. And I rolled a 16, which means the power attacks all opponents in your vicinity, causing 2 harm. So Harvey bursts out of this box, and his lower half is still in it. His upper half is just hanging out, and he's covered in this blood, like dark blood like liquid and ichor, and Sasha's shots go off, and Harvey just he stiffens up, and his eyes close and they open, and they're otherworldly. And you guys have seen this before, but in a different way. His knife just rises up and shoots forward. He doesn't throw it. He doesn't even touch it. And it shoots forward, and it sticks into the further one, the one that Sasha didn't hit, right in the head. That causes 2 harm. The other one, the blood and the liquid and the ichor and everything on the floor rises up from the ground, and it just tunnels directly into the mouth of the one that Sasha hit. And it just goes, and it keeps going until it fills him up completely with this gross dark liquid, and he explodes.
That's pretty brutal. Well, you get the one on the left that you get with the ichor, and it was stopped. The one that you got with the knife, as it's taken Sasha's bullets and then takes your knife, it falls forward dead and confused. The one swells up as if it's about to explode, and could possibly explode at any moment. There's just it's got sort of this rubberiness to it that is really kind of strange, and it was noticeable by some of the others as far as the skin texture and how it seemed to be quite the fully formed version of the one that you had seen before. And so while you were expecting it to explode, there's still 1 point away that prevents the explosion from happening.
Oh no, that on the one that was
No, I got this.
But yeah, he rises up. He just screams. He lets out like just a yell, like pure and like from deep dark down, and that shit happens. It's really cool, guys.
I haven't gotten to act this whole time.
Oh.
Did we miss you or something?
No, he's hiding behind the box and he's still thinking.
He was thinking and he moved. All right. All right. Well, you're going to be right after. Well, you're after Joel. You're after Joel and Blythe.
Yeah, it's not going to matter.
So, I'm gonna take that slash like a real champ, and I'm gonna just raise my gun and just shoot at the one that's bulging.
Well, in combination with the fact that Harvey is about to make it pop like a full tick, that's exactly what happens. And as Dr. Kennedy is like, aha, I know what I'm going to do, and comes out from behind the cube, he is splattered with this.
Oh.
No, like legit. I had to go twice in this thing, and I didn't get to go at all. I'm not.
I'm sorry that I'm faster than you. No,
Sorry.
No, you're not.
He's got jackrabbit moves, but no, now it's
So
yeah.
Chris is used to being the rogue. In
Oh.
D&D. He's used to being the rogue and being all sneaky, and we got him.
I'm used to being able to do something.
You can do something, Doctor.
Well, if I must have
Ernie.
fallen out of order somewhere, and I apologize for that. It was probably when I did scene changes or something, and ended up cutting you off. So, we're actually into a weird situation now where you have, you've got your memory of the symbols, and Harvey has popped through and expressed some amazing power. Blythe has also done the same thing. So there's been a lot of chaos and craziness that you've been able to observe throughout this whole thing. And so as all of this starts to level out and this explosion happens and you get splattered with a little bit of goo and the other one has fallen dead, what is Dr. Ernest gonna do now that he's witnessed all of this?
So he's standing there, and he's just popped out of hiding behind the thing. He's seen one drop dead with a knife, and like glanced briefly over to see the other one about to burst, and just like seen it and then closed his eyes because he knew what was about to happen. So at least I didn't get any blood in my eyes.
Very true.
And as soon as it pops and I get splattered, reach into my inner pocket, pull out a handkerchief, and just wipe off.
That's nasty.
So, now that that's settled, and meta, Joel, what is your last name?
Watson.
Watson.
Miss Watson. And remember, I didn't know who you were before.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Well done. And she's now staring at you like you're an alien.
Yes. Well done. Your mother and father would be proud.
She kind of sighs at you, and now she's glaring at you.
Someone help me get out of this box, please.
Yeah, Sasha turns around,
Harvey's like, please.
grabs reaches out his hand and grabs hold of Harvey and, is pulling back as hard as he can to get Harvey loose from the top of the cube. And then just, wraps him up. And I've hugged you pretty hard in your life. I've never hugged you harder than I am holding on to you right now.
Yeah. Deprecated.
After I've wiped myself off and said that to Joel, I immediately go towards the box and start inspecting it closer, because I don't expect it to do anything now that Harvey has been taken into and expelled from it. And I'm looking real close at it.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go investigate the corpse that the two baby butchers just kind of left there.
Okay.
I wanna go check that out.
As you look at the block, Ernie, it seems it's covered in the slime and stuff. Whatever, of the red blood that had come back through with her now starts to congeal and turn black again and separate from its plasma type substance, is the best way you can logically describe it. And it appears as though the top of the surface of the block is solid. Gleaming wet and slimy, but solid.
Does it have any markings that I might want to put into my book, my journal?
No markings on the block at all. Completely smooth and featureless.
Okay.
The dead bodies of the butchers are just these kind of large men that look like they've got some sort of maybe a disease. It's really hard to tell. Their skin, it does not have the same consistency as what you would expect from skin. It's kind of wet and clammy looking, but it looks sort of fatty, but also you can see that there's some muscle to it. It's just really weird to describe. It's like it's not completely formed, like you might describe an insect that has just come out of its larval stage and just hasn't quite gotten its shell solid yet. And it's not quite as big as the one that you had seen before. They were a little bit different because they had these really dark shades on their faces, covering their eyes, just these peeper sunglasses. They had surgical masks that were on just paper with a little bit of blood splatter. It looked like they had obviously been at work with the other body. There is a third body laying at the edge of the hallway. And when you go to inspect that one and the one that Sasha shot, I need you to roll Keep It Together.
Oh, God. That doesn't mean anything good. I'm real good at keeping it together. Come on. 17.
17, nice.
Better than a 9.
When you go to investigate this, you feel a calling. You hear something that draws your interest from down in the hallway, down in the darkness. Like you have just this urge for just a second that you just need to go bounding down that hallway and see what's down at the end of it. But you overcome that, and then you just kind of shudder it off. Like, I'm just a 16-year-old girl. The last fucking thing I want to do is go bounding down some spooky fucking hallway.
Okay.
The dead body that they were dragging up is missing a head. You notice that some of the flesh, chunks of the bicep and thighs, have been carved out of it. One of the feet is missing. Both of the hands of this body are missing, that they were dragging it up. It just looks like a carcass, like they were using it for meat. And they have, just pants on, big boots, nothing extraordinary.
Okay.
Very large cleavers.
Could I recognize the doctor's body if it was in that state? I mean, I assume I could. Is it the doctor?
You wouldn't be able to recognize it. It's missing skin in some portions. You can't even tell what gender that area is gone.
Wow. Okay. All right.
It has no clothes, no head, no hands. Harvey and Sasha are having a moment.
Yeah, he's just like in his ear, like, it's okay. We're fine.
Joel, you took a big splatter of the explosion along with Dr. Kennedy as well, too.
Yeah, she's like grabbing the bottom of her flannel and like wiping her face as she starts walking towards Dr. Kennedy, who's investigating the box. And she comes to stand beside him, and she's just now finishing getting all of the nasty gunk off, and she's starting to kind of look at her cut that's on her arm, and she just looks at him and studies the side of his face for a minute while she stands there. And he doesn't, I don't think, doesn't compute that she's standing beside him.
No, as soon as I realize that there's nothing more to be gained from investigating the box, I would have turned to Harvey, unless you insert yourself between us.
Yeah, so as soon as you like stand up away from the box, she kind of just meekly answers to what you were referring to earlier.
And
So,
Dr. Kennedy, I'm gonna, just because I told you I'd tell you this earlier before I forget, you do know the names of the symbols on the door. So when we get to a point that you want to ask about those, feel free. Go ahead,
Cool.
Joel.
So you remember me?
It's been many years, child. I'm glad to see that you are alive. I wouldn't say well, I suppose, given our current circumstances, but alive is better than not, I suppose.
So I'm assuming you probably had something to do with the fact that my parents aren't here right now.
Well,
or at least know something. Anything about what's going on?
if you were to take the most circuitous route possible, I suppose you could say that we all had something to do with it.
She kind of looks annoyed at you.
Your parents and I have all been, well, had, in their case, no ill will meant, of course. I'm sorry for their loss. While they and I may not have agreed on certain forms of research, they were still some of the most knowledgeable fellows that I had in this field. I was sorry to hear of their loss, but ultimately not surprised.
I don't want to hear your apologies and kind words about my parents. I would rather know what you know about this place.
I know a great deal about many things. Your parents chose a different path of research. That is what I know. And that, I can only assume, led to their ultimate demise.
Do you know what kind of research they were doing? I've searched the files. I've tried to find everything I can, and there's not a whole lot to go on.
I haven't seen you since you were
6.
A child. Yes. You perhaps are not as knowledgeable of the types of experiments I did as some of the other people here now are, but your parents, what I did, while horrific to many people's standards, held nothing to what they were doing in their research.
Her head drops. She's got nothing else to say to you, really. She's just kind of recluded in, and she's bleeding, so she's like really done with this conversation now.
Child, please. I am a doctor. Can I take a look?
Are you that kind of doctor? Or are you gonna poke me with a needle kind of doctor?
I am a medical doctor. Yes.
About this time, Blythe comes over.
Great.
I think we should go this way. I think we should go down this hallway.
What hallway? Like the one we just came up earlier?
No.
Hang on a second. You mistook my meaning. You don't want to go down that hallway. That pull for you to go down the hallway was against your better judgment.
Okay. All right.
And because you rolled a 17, you didn't get
I
sucked
kept it.
down
Okay.
into it. As opposed to if you'd rolled a 9, they would be like, "Where the fuck did Blythe go?"
So did we?
Okay.
The conversation between Ernie and Joel, that was like in and amongst all of us, and we could all hear that, right?
I mean,
I
just us in
wasn't
this
doing
big room.
anything. I wasn't doing anything to keep quiet.
I think Joel and them just kind of came right out with it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sasha's going to, I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to pull back from Harvey a little bit and, look him in the face, and I thought I was supposed to be the one that was going to protect you. Oh my God, what did you do? Did you?
Listen, it's a lot to explain. I just know we got to get out of here. We got to get back up.
Okay.
I got the box, and
you have the box?
Yeah. And he fumbles a little bit, and pulls the little cube out of his pocket, and kind of like looks it over and shows it to Sasha. This is it. I don't know what it does, but
okay. Okay. We gotta. You know that we have to go. We have to leave. How do we get out? Are the doors still at the other side of the room where we came in? The 6 doors that were along that wall?
Yes, they're there. They look just the same as they did on the other side. One interesting feature, however, is you would expect them to be inset as though they weren't as the entire thickness of the wall, but it looks the same from the inside as it does from the outside. Just this weird kind of note that the hinges are those external hinges. It's like 2 rusty giant hinges that have been riveted right into the stone, and then the iron ring where the handle would be, and then just that very faint etching of the symbols that Dr. Kennedy has been the study of, or been in the study of.
okay. One moment. So Harvey kind of like looks the box over and looks up at the doors and takes a deep breath and glances back over at Sasha. I'm gonna attempt to do like a little thing to maybe put up his sanity a little bit if I can. Just like he looks at him and like puts a hand on his shoulder and takes another deep breath. Listen, I heard some stuff there, and I'm gonna explain in a little bit, but You said you wanted the light, right? The light? You wanted to...
Sasha's just eyes wide, mouth open. Yeah. Yes.
Remember when we used to...
more than anything. Yes.
Remember when we used to hang out all the time? We had nothing left to do with our lives, and I didn't have a job, and we would stay up so late. And he kind of looks over at Joel, and sometimes you'd be there too. Sometimes it'd just be us, but we'd stay up so late that we'd wait until sunrise. And sure, I loved all the stupid shit that we did, dude. I loved getting drunk and running through the streets and finding random skateboards and doing like sweet tricks that I always failed at. But
yeah, you're
staying
terrible.
up late, yeah,
You're really bad.
We're not gonna talk about this. I'm trying to tell you something.
Okay, sorry.
Staying up late till the sunrise. Don't laugh at me, Joel. That was my favorite part. All right. Sue me, okay? We did all these fun stuff, but staying up late, seeing the sunrise was my favorite part. We just had to do some stupid shit in the dark first. So, Sasha, we gotta do some stupid shit in the dark. And if we don't, apparently in 7 days, the world's gonna die. So if we don't do this stupid shit in the dark, we're not going to be able to see that sunrise again. And I don't know about you, but that's my favorite part. And I want you there. And not just you, I want Joel there, and the old man, and Blythe. Sure, you too. I guess you're not so bad. But I gotta take this cube. I gotta go to the top of fucking Trump Tower for God knows what. And apparently, we have to save Manhattan.
Like, all of Manhattan?
And he squeezes Sasha's shoulder and turns over to Ernie and says, have you ever heard of Malkuth?
I declare that yes, I have.
It is one of the archons
Damn.
and is one of the symbols that is on the doors and on the little box.
Cool. What do I? Is this a question that I can ask? What do I know specifically about this archon?
You know that Malkuth is the archon that wants to break the illusion and tear it all down so that everything is exposed, that all of humanity is exposed to that there is no more lies. Malkuth is a female archon personage, and was actually the creator of the illusion, but after the demiurge disappeared, made it a new mission to create chaos and tear it down.
Malkuth, from what I have learned over my years, is ultimately that which brought these sorts of beings into our world as they are today.
And fucking tastic. Great.
And whose goal now is to tear down that which separates us.
So he wants to make the whole world like this?
What we have seen in, for the love of God, the last half hour, she wants for everyone
So we need to kill her.
I don't think it's. Listen, and
A creature of this kind of power.
To-
Yes, I'm sure. Absolutely.
to address like everyone else again, and mostly to Sasha, he's like, "Listen, I don't know if this is like, if I'm like the fucking, this is like destiny or something for me, but this is something I have to do, and I don't want to drag you guys into it. All right." Don't laugh at Hey, fuck you, okay? I'm serious. This is mostly about you. This is mostly about you, okay? Screw me, I don't want you to die. Sasha?
You can't stop that.
We're all gonna die one day.
You can't stop that. You know what you can do? You can come with me. We can go. You have the box, right? Isn't that what you were supposed to do? That's what I said. It's what you said you needed. It's what I said I would help you with. It's what, I mean, it's why we came down this crazy path into this, whatever this is. We got it. So step one, right? Step one, right? Now we go to step two. Okay? I said I was going to save you. Right? So, step two, let's get the fuck out of here.
I agree with that one.
Just for a little bit
yeah.
of perspective, Harvey, when you were down there in front of the Archons, Malkuth was part of the conversation. They were, it was, if you might imagine, when you're sitting around thinking about like the ancient Greek or Roman gods, you know how some of them had these feuds and stuff, but they were all on Mount Olympus. You know what I mean? You can imagine all of the gods standing around in one room, kind of whispering about, oh, that guy over here, he's an asshole. But they all still inhibit the same powerful space from where they rule. And so when as the reason I'm saying this, because as you're having a conversation about, you don't think that you're actually having to go defeat Malkuth personally, but you have to go foil this particular part of the plan, because when you were down there, you heard Malkuth speaking. Malkuth was part of the conversation. When they would talk about Malkuth, she would chuckle and laugh at them and goad them on, you know, as part of the argument. I didn't act all of it out, but you heard bits and pieces of their conversation about what to do with you, and you gleaned that as part of your mission. So just to give you perspective that, you know, you've had a little bit of one-on-one time with Malkuth, as it were.
How did
Mr.
Malkuth
Winston.
feel about me taking the box? Like, is this
Amused.
Is the box what's gonna release Malkuth?
Yeah, Malkuth, when she spoke amongst their conversation and argument, she seemed like, bring it on. Like, you can't stop me. I'm doing my thing, and I'm not worried. She was aloof about it. Laughed and chuckled every time they said they could stop her and that you could stop her. She would just laugh and kind of giggle in this evil sort of weird way.
Gotcha.
Mr. Winston, what exactly is it that you are claiming we must do to avert annihilation?
I just heard I have to take this cube to the top of Trump Tower, and I'm guessing they'll tell me what to do when we get there.
Does taking this cube to the top of Mr. Trump's tower bring about the end times? I mean, do you have any sort of clarification on what avoids annihilation?
Gut feeling. He feels really lame all of a sudden, but he steps forward and he holds out the cube. Just look at it. Maybe you'll know what it means.
They were pretty specific in their conversation about taking it to the top and popping the lid up there.
Popping a lid? Oh.
Yeah, opening it up at the top. You're not sure exactly in what particular circumstance, but you know you have to take it to the top and open it.
Okay, then he would say that. He'd relay that. But to take it to the top and open it. And...
I mean, are you still offering it for me to look at? Because for the love of God, Ernie wants to look at it.
Oh,
Yes,
I thought you were
but
gonna fix my arm.
He very
I got
strictly-
distracted by Lamarcan's machination. or whatever.
Blythe starts ripping
Very
the bottom of her dress
tells him to not open it.
to help Joel with her fucking
Aw.
arm.
Yeah,
I rip the part. I see you're bleeding. You're bleeding on me. So
Sorry.
honestly, this is more for my benefit than yours. But
I do want to
make,
say
like, a
to
little
Blythe
Band-Aid.
that of all of the people that are in your party, Joel is the closest in age to you. Joel is only like 1 year older than you are.
17, baby.
Wow. All right. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I make
I
a
would-
little Band-Aid for you.
I would walk over to Joel too and put my arm around her and, kind of peck her on the forehead.
Oh, for the love of God. I'm
you-
sorry, Miss Watson. I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm
okay?
fine. It's really kind of just a scratch.
Please.
But if we could stop the bleeding, that would be
Yes, please.
helpful.
Please let me take a look.
How do you stabilize wounds in this game?
I
Like,
have
by doing that?
battlefield medicine as an advantage.
Yeah,
Oh.
Roll
you-
plus
you-
reason.
Well, that's
Oh.
useful.
I'm a doctor. So give us a roll. A
Oh,
19.
that's
Oh,
a-
hey.
Oh,
Thank
He
you.
fucking fixes her.
Hey,
God damn, you got a
Got a brand
soldering
new
iron
arm.
in there? A brand
It's
new
way
arm.
better than a 9.
Way better than a 9.
That's like 10 better than a 9.
I mean, I'm only going to use one of those because I only need to use one of those, and that would be effective. I stabilize 2 wounds instead of 1.
Oh, sweet. So now I'm healed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Magic.
Good as new.
No.
Video
I-
games.
Thanks, Doc. I guess you're not as bad as I thought you were.
Well, you know.
Harvey, were you going to give Dr. Kennedy the box?
Yes. And I make it very clear, like, do not open this. Like, don't you dare open this.
I am
Like, he's
not
got
entirely I am not entirely heartless, so I make sure that Joel is okay first.
Right.
But as soon as I am done with that, I want to inspect the box.
Okay.
Great. Through the box.
I just don't want to lose anything in the shuffle. I tend to do that sometimes. Okay, so Blythe and Joel are looking at how amazing the doctor has just healed her wounds. The doctor goes back over to Harvey to get the box. Sasha, what are you doing? Oh, you walked over to Joel too.
Yeah, I put my arm around Joe.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not talking about the scratch. Are you okay?
Sash, I knew that my parents weren't great people. I came to terms with that a long time ago. I just wish it wasn't true every single time I think about it. So,
And I just shout over my shoulder, to be fair, they were doing incredibly important work.
incredibly important enough to get people killed.
Aren't all incredible works?
Okay.
Think of the Manhattan Project, child. How many countless deaths did that end up with?
Enough of the philosophical discussions. Okay.
Yeah, can we get out of here?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm cold. It's a little drafty down here.
So, Dr. Kennedy,
Well, if you had clothed yourself, we wouldn't have this problem.
you've got the little box, and because of what you asked earlier with your arcane researcher, you know that you have to choose which archon and speak their name before you attempt to exit through a door. Just reminding you of that, because you had asked about that earlier. That's when the question about the different names came up, and I stalled. There you go.
So, if
'Cause-
I'm assuming that we're going to start to leave at some point.
Yeah, Sasha and Blythe
Please.
just said, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm making my way toward the door.
Yeah, Sasha, can you do the fun little trick with your tattoo there? See if you can get us out of here.
Wait, we're just going home?
Yeah.
While they
No.
are
I mean-
talking,
I'd love to go back to my house.
while
Blythe-
they're talking about a destination, I want to pull Harvey aside.
Okay.
Mr. Winston, from what I can ascertain about this box, it seems as though you can choose which Archon you call upon. I'm assuming at the top of Mr. Trump's tower. It will be up to, I'm assuming you. I highly doubt that any of the rest of us have the power to determine which of these horrifying beings we call upon. But you have a choice, would be my greatest estimation. Each one of these could be an opening, and each one of them pertains to a particular Archon. If you call upon Malkoth at Mr. Trump's tower, Malkoth will be the one that is called.
So do we? Oh no, I'm not there. I'm not there.
No, we're talking about where we're going.
Yeah, I'm not there.
I'm jiggling
So-
on a door handle.
I mean,
There's all the doors, right?
I saw the Archons, but I don't know who they are. I don't know their names. I don't know anything about them.
I've done a great deal of research. I would need to know more in order to give you any assistance in this whatsoever.
Harvey, you know one name.
I know Malkuth.
Yeah.
Is
that's
the lady one?
No, you know Malkuth. That's the name. You need to
Yeah.
go to Malkuth's place. They did mention through his door, or through her door as well. And they put it together. Blythe, as you pull and tug, these doors don't seem... It's like you're pulling a ring that's fastened to the wall.
So it's the doors that are around us. I have to speak Malkuth's name to get into.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what Dr. Kennedy has discerned is that each door represents a particular Archon, and there are 6 here to choose from. And you have to be able to say a name to get out. And that's the only name you know.
No, we don't.
No, it's the only name that Harvey knows, is the one that they were talking about.
Yeah,
That
but
she-
I'm saying we don't need to speak a name to get out.
Well,
Yes! Yes! Oh my god! Fuck it up. Go get that door.
I just saw they're all late to the ball game.
So let's I have probably listened to everybody's suggestions as to where we should go and where we should end up, and you know, Blythe wants to go to her place. Joel, where would you want us to go? Where would you have told us in the conversation that we needed to go?
I really
Probably
need a shower and
argue.
an outfit.
Say
I'm
it.
probably arguing that we shouldn't have left because I wasn't done hunting around for what I was looking for.
To my house.
That would mean going back through the temple.
Yeah, we're not.
Or of those delightful creatures with the large cleavers.
And they know where, you know what I mean? Like they met up with us outside of Ernie's house, so we're not going back there either.
Damn,
I-
I like
How
that.
late is it? Like how
I
tired?
want us. I'm opening the door into the hallway outside of Harvey's penthouse.
I'll crash at my pad.
What the fuck? That is not where my clothes are kept.
Oh my god.
He's got a whole closet of fun things.
I'm sure there are a great many ladies that have left behind plenty suitable clothing for you.
Yeah,
Harvey, have you had great many ladies leave
Oh, I mean,
outfits for
actually,
me?
I don't want to think about that.
I don't think you need to know about that.
Can we
girl.
go? Can we go? Can we go?
No, I know about sex.
I
Okay.
cannot
Please,
hold this
for the
Not
love
a
of
secret.
all that is holy.
Blythe here, and Harvey, just to get Blythe to go, he just steps forward and he crouches down in front of her and holds his arms back. He's like, "Hop on, let's go. Come on, get up here."
Piggyback ride.
All right.
Karen.
Okay. I can't resist a piggyback, so you got me there. Let's go. And she hops on.
All right, he heaves her up.
For the
How
love
about
of
that?
God.
Woo!
I
Charge.
exist exclusively amongst children.
Jojo, now that I know where this place is, I might be able to get us back here.
Yeah, keyword being might.
Joel?
I will try and try. But right now, Harvey's on a very limited amount of time. We have to move. I haven't slept in almost 2 days. Okay? Listen, we have to get out. I cannot hold this door for much longer. Let's go.
Fine.
I'm
And she like
not leaving you down here. Come on.
she like
Also-
stomps after you.
Meta, he said that the world would end in 7 days, but he purposefully did not choose to say that he would end in 7 days.
Oh, okay.
We noticed.
Yeah.
We noticed. But we noticed meta.
Yeah. Very meta, we noticed.
Okay, so and if nobody's going to try to stop Sasha from doing this, Sasha, you with a perfect roll, you tell me what happens.
Yeah, sleeve comes up, you see the smoke start to roll up and I hit the door handle, just, you know what I mean? Everybody's seen it at this point, and I hit the door handle, and the door pops open, and we are standing at the end of the hallway leading to Harvey's penthouse. Harvey has Blythe in a piggyback, and they go through the door. Ernie, I assume, follows, and then Joe, after my prompting, stomps her way out past me. I look around behind us, make sure that nobody's following, and get through the door and close it as quickly as I can. I take a deep breath. I open my pocket. I pull out a cigarette. I light it. I reach in my other pocket and I
Hey,
pull
no
out a
smoking in my apartment.
Fuck
Harvey
you.
goes behind you. You can stay in the hallway.
Yeah, yeah, and I reach in my other pocket and I grab a bottle of pills.
Jesus.
So now we're in the fancy hallway.
Are we actually like
Do I have
Are
to
we-
unlock your door too, Harvey? Or you're gonna
Oh, yeah.
I assume that if you want it to happen that way, that you don't even
Uh,
have to open the door. Like your pathway
We're
just
in there.
immediately leads into wherever you want to
Well,
go.
he said it
Yeah, I
in
was
the
gonna
hallway.
say.
you got a 20, bro?
That's true. I guess I could have just taken us straight
Just
into
be in.
Out of Harvey's closet.
that. Makes way
We're
more
coming
sense.
out of
That's
Harvey's
great.
closet.
I love that. Can we do that?
Just inside the closet, and then Sasha immediately turns around, heads for the hallway, and starts to light a cigarette.
So in case you guys don't quite know what Harvey's place is, I'll go ahead and describe it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, it's a nice loft. It's like 2 floors. So I don't know if this description will match the one I gave in the first episode, but this is how I imagine it now.
Consistency.
He has no sense of interior decoration.
Mm.
He was literally a poor kid given a bunch of money, and he bought everything he ever wanted. Like he's got the floor is like the, you know, kind of 80s black and white checkerboard floor. It's got like a big, gross green shag carpet on the ground with like a glass table. He's got an area that has a pool table and like a couple of pinball machines. He's got like whatever is the best TV and some video games set up. And it's very clean. Like he's surprisingly clean for how much he ends up covered in blood. Like the whole place is just nice. He doesn't have a cleaning lady. He just cleans it himself. There's paintings and drawings, and none of them have a theme. None of them kind of blend together. One is like a mountain valley sunset. The next is medieval knights saving a princess. Like he just went all out. He's got a cupboard full of snacks, and his closet, Blythe, if you end up going into it, there are no ladies' clothes. But the first part of the closet is what he normally wears, like kind of the cool fashion clothes, you know, like jeans, flannels, leather jackets. And then if you look deeper in the closet, there's so many like just flamboyant things. He's got like glittery shirts. None of them are women's. He's got like this one shirt that's like a tight leopard skin and then like a golden bedazzled jacket by it. He's got ridiculous boots sitting next to his normal everyday person boots. And his bedroom, you go up these stairs into this loft and it's just massive bed curtained off by like teal light curtains, very airy, almost feminine, but like so comfortable and just covered in pillows. Downstairs, he's also got one of those other beds that goes into the walls, but it's like it's up right now, but it can come down. And he's got like a big sectional couch, and he also has an aquarium full of fish who are probably very hungry. So when he sets you down, the first thing he does is he steps in, goes immediately to feed his fish, and just like starts just like washing his hands and like just like in the sink first off, because he just can't stand having this shit on his hands. But yeah, that's his place. Very eccentric. Probably a lot of candles too, I can tell. Just like weird lamp fixtures. Like he's got some with bulbs, some that are crystal flowers with a lamp bulb in the middle. It's all over the place.
Ernie becomes concerned. Am I dripping?
Ew.
You're dripping.
TMI, bro.
And I really want to shower, but Ernie, I mean, listen, I think
got
there's
a
like
full face full.
I
He's
think
got
there's like 4
a
bathrooms
shower.
in here though. So
Yeah, he's got
Desert.
2 bathrooms. One of them has the big jacuzzi tub, and another's just a really, really nice shower.
Nice.
Wow, dibs on jacuzzi tub.
Yeah.
And Harvey, as he's
Shower
feeding his fish, as he's feeding his fish and washing his hands, he just looks up at you and he's like, "Just avoid the carpet, please. I paid a lot of money for that carpet. I really like it. I'll mop
doing
later."
My best, sir. Please.
All right, the
send me
bathroom.
towards-
There's one down over there, right side of the sectional, and there's one up by my bedroom. Blythe, whatever you want. I don't give a fuck at this point.
Okay.
I beeline towards the bathroom that he points me to, and just turn on the shower, full blast, hot, turn a little bit of cold so that I don't scald myself, and just step inside fully clothed.
Blythe is rifling through his eccentric clothes and
So
just having a
deep in the closet.
yeah, so
Anything you
deep.
can imagine, go for it.
She's head first, like in heaven, and she picks out something. I
You
don't
are
know.
Straight up in a celebrity's house right
Really
now.
nice
I
fabric.
am. She finds anything.
Patterns out the wazoo.
Yeah, dark, patterned, maybe lace, whatever he's got. She grabs it and she makes her way to the other bathroom. Because
So
ladies
Sasha's
first.
going to join Harvey at the sink and just kind of lean back against the counter and cross his arms, and look at him while he's washing his hands. So
Yeah, I don't.
you said 7 days.
Yeah, about that.
Well phrased.
I don't know. This is I don't. It's kind of weird. Shit. All of this is weird. What am I saying? And real low. I think I can time travel.
Harvey kind of pauses in his hand washing and like glances over his shoulder.
So
No shit.
So I tried to do the doorway thing, right? I was trying to find my way, and I got into the alley when I followed when I followed the cop that time, and I came to the same alley that you and I were in when you made your deal the first time, and I saw us, and it I gotta say it really freaked me the fuck out.
Did we see us?
No. I hid, and I got out of there. I came back as fast as I could, but I think I might be able to time travel. I don't know.
Just now figuring that out.
Yeah. It's the only time it's ever happened to me.
Oh, that's what?
No, it's fucking scary. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's
It's scary shit.
You freak out because you take drugs and you think about things in a scary way. This is cool. This is cool. This can be good for us.
If Ernie was there, he'd say it's cool too.
You're right. It is cool, but
Like, no, we could use this. We could go to the tower. We could put the fucking box there, and we could go back. And I could have never made.
But I don't know how to use. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. I'm just saying that it happened. Okay, I'm just saying that it happened.
That's freaky as fuck, dude.
It was so fucking weird.
Oh my god.
I saw myself.
That's the first time. It's never happened before.
No.
I mean, how'd the door happen when you first find it out? Was it on accident? Did you? And now you can do that pretty manually.
Well, I thought really the first time I thought it was PCP. Like I thought I was tripping. Like I'd smoked this cigarette dipped in PCP, and I was fucking tripping balls. And
so it's bad for you.
Well, it was weird. And I didn't even do it on purpose. I was stumbling through this alleyway, and I think that I was, headed to Greg's house, and I tried to open the door, and something like there was this awakening, I guess is the right way to say it, and like something just happened, and as I reached for the door and I opened it up, there was this warehouse on the other side, and it was a party going on, and it was weird. I mean, I'd never been there before, and it certainly wasn't the 3-story walk up that I was expecting it to be, but and I stepped through the door into the party because I didn't think I was in my right mind. I just thought I was tripping, and maybe I was in the wrong place. And it was. And the weird thing is Greg was there. Like I ran into Greg like not 2 minutes later at this party. So that was the first time that it had ever happened to me. And after I came down, I was up forever. God, I don't even know how long I was up for. But after I came down, it occurred to me, you have those epiphanies, those moments of clarity. And so a few days later, after I got up the gumption, I tried it again. I tried to think of some place that wasn't where I was, and I was in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom at this shitty little down in Greenwich, not far from my apartment, and I just, I got up the gumption to try it, and I put my hand out, and you've seen the thing happen, and it happened, and I opened the door, and I was standing outside the Met.
So, do you think you'll be able to control this time?
I don't know.
Crazy. We can't tell anybody else about this.
You think I'm trying to tell anybody about this?
I don't. I feel like if the old guy finds out, he'll try to do some weird stuff to you. What did he do to you?
What?
Oh,
Why would you even-
Ernie for sure would start dissecting my brain. Like, it would be a thing.
Okay, yeah, then no one can find out.
You guys are so rude.
Who knows what Blythe might do to it? She might fucking try to go back in time when like My Little Pony was more popular. I don't know. And then Joel, parents. I just should watch it. We should, yeah.
I would use it for Joel.
I would too.
What the fuck?
That's so nice.
We'll
What the
just
fuck?
Rude.
let me know. Let me know
Like,
if it happens again,
okay.
okay?
Okay.
Blythe
Whatever,
got wrapped
Ernie.
up into child trafficking. Super.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not do it for Blythe?
Literally, I was. Oh, whatever. I have a
Like a
backstory.
Jeffrey Epstein child.
I have a
Come on.
backstory.
I have a backstory.
You might go back in time and
Because I've known her for 16 hours, and I've known JoJo for years.
We have an emotional connection. Whatever.
Oh.
It's fine. Well,
Right, we do. And
it's whatever.
And Meta, if you ever tell me that stuff, don't think that Sasha wouldn't fucking help you too. I'm the goddamn Captain Save-A-Ho. That is who.
Ernie and I are just gonna go have a pity party.
No, you're
Ernie's in the
playing
shower.
dress up.
In the shower.
You're playing dress up, and
Showers.
he's taking a hot
What's-
shower.
what's
What's-
Joel doing?
What's Joel doing?
So she's like still kind of pissed. And so she's like rolling a joint while she's like walking over to Blythe to go talk to her at the closet. Yo, Pippi Short Stockings, you still got my knife on you?
One, my name is Blythe. Two, yes, I do. Three, can I have it?
One, I know your name's Blythe. Two, I know your name's Blythe. And three, give me my goddamn knife back.
Okay. Good talk. Good talk. She hands it over.
And then
I
Joel like
don't-
leans against the closet door while you're still picking through things.
I don't really know how to use it anyway, so yeah, it's probably best you have it.
You know, it's funny when I first saw you down there with Sasha, I was kind of like, what is this 12-year-old doing with Sasha? But then you said you killed your husband, so that's pretty rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. It's just the cards you were dealt. Does this look cute? Does this top match these pants? Do you think? I think it's a bit much.
What are you holding up?
It's gonna be big on you, whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Harvey size clothes.
yeah. I'm holding up like this garish gold, like yellow gold shirt that has like sequins going like this way and maybe like some black stripes going down, and then these pants, they're like jeans but not, because like they have print on them.
Right.
Blythe, when Joel mentions the death of your husband, that might trigger a repressed memory regarding your dark secret. So I need you to roll +0 for me.
I was really worried that you were going to say that. Can I roll anything +0?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
anything without a bonus.
Angry. 11.
Oh.
Okay. So when you mention that, as you see Blythe's got this really cool outfit that she had this smile on her face, and you say the words about the death of her husband, you sort of see the smile melt on her face. And Blythe, now I need you to keep it together.
Keep together.
Oh God, I didn't ask for a meltal.
Hey, I kept it together. It's fine.
Oh,
15.
All
15.
right. Good job. So yeah, you do exactly as you showed it. You mentioned that, and Blythe, you just have this moment that kind of washes over you. You have a flash of that moment, and then you grit your teeth and bear through it. This is obvious non-verbally to
Right.
Joel, who
Yeah.
is there talking with you when this happens.
Yeah, I think that outfit is a bit much. Look, I didn't mean to bring up bad shit. I just you seem pretty young to
Yeah.
be through some of this shit.
Yeah. You know, my parents weren't very well off when I was even younger. They got into some pretty fucked up shit, and they had a debt that they owed this really really powerful guy or organization, I guess. And so they sold me.
Like sold you.
Yeah, like I was put into this institution where we were taught, or I guess, brainwashed, now that I look back at it, that how to be good wives, how to do whatever the husband tells us to do. And then the doctor found me at the institution, and
Wait, whoa. What doctor? Like
no,
doctor?
no. My husband. He's called the doctor.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Thought I was gonna have to
No,
put a
no.
bullet in somebody.
No. He's fine. He's old, not dead. No.
Hey, I got one thing going for me.
No, my husband, the doctor, is what he preferred to be called. He told me to call him sir. Yeah, he bought me from the school, and we were married, and he had me do a lot of really, really messed up things.
God, what a prick.
Huh?
God, what a prick. I'm
Yeah.
glad you gave him
Yeah.
what he deserved.
I mean, I never really thought about it all that much, about, like killing him. It came over me like it was like a flash, like a way out. And
Yeah.
I guess I took it.
I get that. One time I was pretty close to finding the fucks that killed my parents, and I almost had him too. And I couldn't do it. So I'm glad that you did.
Thanks.
Maybe the sparkly with the printed pants isn't quite a good idea.
No. I think I guess I'll just maybe something pink, something salmon. Maybe that'll.
Maybe That would be better, yeah. And she kind of holds up her joint that she finished rolling. I don't have a light. I lost it a couple days ago, so I'm gonna go bum off Sasha.
Yeah.
Harvey, is there a robe of any kind in the bathroom that I am in?
Oh yeah, super plush, big white robe, very comfortable.
Yeah, way to go, Harvey.
There's one in both bathrooms.
So
Nice.
I have hung up my clothes methodically on
He's got a washer and dryer too.
any kind of surface that has been actively available to me in that bathroom specifically, taken the robe, and then ventured out with my wet clothing to find some place to actually clean them.
Yeah, there's like a little tiny laundry room set off to the side. You open a door, that's all it's had. It's like one of those bigger closets, and it just has the washing machine, dryer, a shelving unit with all of the supplies you need. Too many supplies, like all kinds of different laundry soaps, different
The perfect amount for a person that has absolutely no idea how much it takes to do a thing.
Yes.
Okay. So after I get all of that situated, I've got my clothes in the washer dryer. I've made my way back to whatever the living area is, the living room, wherever there are people congregated.
Yeah,
Are you
I've
wearing
walked.
the robe?
Dear God, are you wearing a
For the
robe?
love of God, I'm wearing the fucking robe.
Hey, as
I
soon as
have
you come in,
modesty, unlike a certain other 14-year-old girl in our party.
Harvey,
Harvey was nude at one point.
you better not be freeballing it in my robe, dude.
Well, that's just too damn bad, isn't it?
I take the clothes that I have found and I go to the big bathtub and I have a soak.
I went in
That's
front.
what Blythe is doing.
I was looking for Sasha. I need a light.
I'm
I'll have a
standing.
lighter.
I'm standing in the kitchen.
All
Yeah,
right.
as soon as Ernie's back,
Whatever booze was in the fridge, whether there was wine or beer or whatever, I have.
oh, he's probably got like a little bar set up. Like he's got the fixings.
Then I am whatever the first bottle of whatever there is. I had just poured a glass full of it and am standing there drinking it, smoking a cigarette, because I don't give a fuck about
Harvey's
rules.
He walks past you to go to the bathroom. When he sees the doctor step out, he slaps it out of your hand, or tries to, and stomps on it.
And I pull another one and I light it.
Dude, no respect. But he lets it go and he goes to take a shower.
So at some point, everybody gets whatever bathing and whatever personal comfort level they need to get to reach before everybody. I'm assuming some of you mentioned sort of falling into a congregation area, maybe to touch base before you all finally rest. It's like 2 a.m. You are exhausted, but you have been at it for some time. So you know, some of you are young. Ernie's probably ready to pass out at any moment. But you know how it is that even after you've been through,
I operate on 4 hours of sleep every night.
yeah, you know, you've been there where you've been out there doing it, but you still just got to take like a moment to decompress, and you all have the opportunity then to bring up whatever subjects or have any conversations that you want to have before you embark on whatever your planning is going to be for this next leg of your story.
I pull out a bottle of pills, and does anybody want to make sure that they don't have any dreams tonight? Anybody?
Joel holds up her joint. She's sitting by the window now playing Game Boy and kind of flips you the bird with her other finger.
All right, babe.
Harvey's probably playing Game Boy with her. They're currently trading Pokemon.
Pokemon don't exist.
Wow.
They
don't
don't
have-
exist yet.
I don't have
Not in the
Pokemon.
80s.
I don't
Well,
have
6
Pokemon.
years if you're in Japan.
Tetris.
We've got Tetris.
We're
We've
playing
got
Tetris.
Super
Legit
Mario.
Tetris and
We're
Super
playing,
Mario World.
Paperboy.
Game Boy.
WWE Superstars. That one.
Yeah.
Was
That's a good one.
It's literally 1990. It's
We've
Yeah.
only got like what they launched with, really. That's
Yeah.
all we got.
Yeah.
Metroid. There was a
Ah.
Metroid.
Metroid.
Original gray box Nintendo at this point. The Super Nintendo has not yet even come out yet.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
We
we're,
want to talk to Blythe.
All right. Logistics.
we're heading into the second day of 1990, and it sounds like that nobody wants to talk about the horrors of the time and kind of forget about the fact that
I mean,
there
that's not true for me.
that there is. Did you want to bring something up while everybody's sort
No,
of
I mean
chilling out?
that's the thing. Ernie,
Old man Ernie in a sea of young people.
I will absolutely have raided the bar and probably gone back a couple of times. The rest of them are just not talking about anything.
Nope.
I'm going into the kitchen and I'm starting to make a meal for everyone.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Wifey.
Blythe is
All right.
sweet as fuck.
I'm full, sweetheart. I'm full.
You need to eat. Let her cook for you.
Like real food.
All of you need to eat.
Here, Blythe, I'll help you. Meta, he doesn't trust her around fire.
Fair.
Meta,
Yeah,
I
Joel's-
wouldn't either.
So, okay, no. Okay, so if I am left in the room with Sasha and Joel, Miss Watson, how did you come to meet Sasha?
She like turns to you with her Game Boy in her hand, and she slowly puts it down and looks at you like, I really don't want to fucking talk to you. But she kind of like takes a minute. I met Sasha a couple years, well, pretty soon after my parents died, so it was a couple years ago.
Mm.
He sometimes sells me weed, and she like jiggles her joint at you. How does everybody else meet Sasha? I mean, the dude's a drug dealer.
Hey, I'm more than a drug dealer.
You are, honey. You so are.
All right, I'm a drug dealer. It's fine.
To be perfectly honest, Sasha, you are amongst the finer of such people that I have ever met. So, for that, I credit you.
Thanks, Ernie.
So if we're playing the how did we all meet game, how did my beloved little Sasha meet the big, bad, scary, creepy old guy with the tape recorder?
He's not big, bad. He's kind of scary.
Kind of creepy.
He's creepy.
I mean, you're not wrong. I have a
Because I'm
certain
a drug dealer, that's why, okay? Because I'm a drug dealer.
I have a certain quality to myself which is unappealing to a large portion of people that I meet. Yes, I may be creepy.
No, you're just a stuck-up prick.
Ooh. Fighting
Well,
words.
you're not wrong about that.
It's
And
not that I don't...
I look at the glass of whatever I have taken from Harvey's stash, and I just make a face. But as far as how I came across Sasha, he was a means to an end. My research had hit something of a dead end, and I needed more subjects, to be perfectly honest. And
More people.
I happened to be walking along the boulevard and saw him in all of Sasha's grandeur.
Mhm.
And I just knew he was the one. And when I say that, I mean him in his greasy French coat just seemed as though he had all of the things that I needed for mine own research. A support system. Well, I suppose I was the support for them at that point.
You needed more people to stick needles in and cut with scalpels, is what you're telling me?
I mean, I never
I didn't.
cut them until after they'd passed.
I didn't bring him anyone.
But the people that were brought to me, I met through you. I don't mean to make that unpleasant for you, Sasha, but many of my subjects I have met through you.
Yeah.
Joel is now staring daggers at both of you, trying to figure out what your coded little message game here is.
But still.
Listen, I never said I was fucking Robin Hood, okay?
I did never expect you to be. I mean, you're a drug dealer. You sold weed to, what, a 15-year-old?
Yeah, you were buying.
And to be fair, when I first tested my dosage with you and those you spent time with, it seems as though the others passed on to something better. From what you've told me.
I certainly fucking hope so.
To be perfectly honest, Sasha, I honestly really hope so too, but I doubt it.
Because if it's not better, fuck. And Sasha slams the rest of the booze in his glass and walks off and goes upstairs.
But we're making enchiladas.
At 2 a.m. I love it.
Joel takes a big old drag on that marijuana joint. And she stares.
She's gonna do the
on
marijuana.
That marijuana joint.
Oh. And stares at Ernie.
Use the ashtray. Don't use my china.
No, fuck you.
Miss Watson.
So you have an ashtray in the house, but you're not allowed to smoke in the house? Okay.
Can't smoke cigarettes. You can smoke weed. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Miss Watson.
I've never smoked a weed before. She says to Harvey.
I mean, we got 7 days if you really want to try it.
Would you mind? And I hold out my hand.
She kind of she like coughs and like laughs at the same time as she hands it over. Well, you seem like Woodstock material, I guess.
Wow.
As delightful as that would have been, I feel I was somewhat busy, but that
I think the stick in your ass would have been a little bit too much for that crowd.
You would be mistaken, but I understand. I have something of a professional appearance. And he takes the biggest rip you have ever seen.
He's like, I'm gonna prove my point. I can be fun too.
Like legit the biggest rip you have ever seen of any human person.
He Snoop Dogs it.
Snoop Dogs it.
Harvey like glances over into the living room because it's like an open space. There's not really a door separating the living room and the kitchen. And he's like, he looks at Blythe. We're gonna have to make more enchiladas.
And Harvey is still, or not Harvey, Ernie is still pulling. He's like, I didn't even hit that shit yet.
Puff, puff,
What is it?
pass.
What is it?
That's
Puff, puff,
what
pass.
shows-
Puff, puff. 3 times pass. What are we doing
Something
here?
like that. And it's the perfect. It's the beautiful right out of the '80s sort of show, network TV show close when Harvey Winston says, "I think we're going to need more enchiladas." And it dun, 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 they just smile into the camera, and it pins down to black, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh God!
As everybody gets a moment to relax from the reality or the lack of reality, or who knows what it is at this point that you all have suffered over the last 48 hours.
You do. That's who. You.
Yeah, you did this. You did this. Rough.
So thank you, players. Wow, we went a little bit long. You guys kept going, and I wanted to get you here and get you a chance to kind of settle and ventilate for a moment, and you did, and I appreciate that. I loved it. I was thinking you'd all start doing these really dramatic scenes, and everybody was like, nope, I'm going to play video games, get high, have something to drink, let's make some fucking enchiladas, and go to bed. So I loved it. That was beautiful that nobody wanted to really talk about anything else. So let's go around the table, as it were, get a little bit of a reaction about tonight's game, and tell us a little bit about you. And let's start up in the corner with let's start with Duke.
Hi. That was cathartic. I am so happy to be back at this, having taken last week off. I am at Invisible Duke on Twitter and Instagram. I am the creative director here at TTRP Theater. I am in several different games on the channel, but we have 2 premieres tomorrow that I'm super excited about. We have so much new stuff coming down the pipeline. A new KULT game that we announced that Curtis and I are co-writing, and a couple, Jaylee and Krista are playing it. I mean, we have so much coming, so I'm so excited about everything, but I'm most excited about this game and time travel.
Time travel.
There are so many things that are possible now.
Don't open doors, Curtis. Don't.
I love it. So, okay, then we're going to shoot down to the middle as we cross the board, and let's go to Dr. Kennedy.
My name is Chris Stonecipher. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Stonecipher. You can find Mew Jackman, who you may have seen earlier this evening, at The Greatest Meowman on Instagram. At Chris Stonecipher, of course, is on Twitter. And I am in love with this game, and I am in love with the people that are in it. Every choice that everyone makes everything infinitely more interesting every time we play, and it's so good, and I love it.
Outstanding. If they would just let Dr. Kennedy do something from time to time.
I just want to cut a bitch with my scalpel. That's all I want.
Sit down, old man.
I was absolutely going to use Genius, and that would have allowed me to do at least one arm.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we got Genius. Oh, maybe we didn't. All right. So, all right. So we'll cut back down in the corner then. Let's go to the newest member of our team. She's been with us for a couple of episodes now. That would be Joel.
Hi, everybody. My name is Erica. You can find me at Erica in More 97 on Instagram and Twitter. I am the creative or the community coordinator, whatever that is. I make the crap posts that go up on Twitter and Facebook. If you caught the one yesterday, it was a poor Little Mermaid joke.
You tried. You really tried.
I reached for it.
I gave you shit, but I did still appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's what I do here. I love this game.
And much more.
I can't thank these guys enough for letting me play this game. I love it. I love every character. I love talking to every character, even though half the time I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I still have so much fun, and I'm so excited to be able to play this. Hopefully next week, if nobody's lives decide to derail.
Right. Always the possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. All right, so let's jump up then. We're going to go up to the top left to Blythe.
Hello. I'm Krista, and this game is freaking awesome. This is just so good. Like, it has me on the edge of my seat every single time we play it. You can find me on Instagram. Here we go. At Krista the Barista. That's KR 3 E's STA _ the _ barista. You can also find my cat Binks. You've probably also seen little passes of him throughout tonight's show. And he's on Instagram as well at Binks the Black Cat. All under K's, no underscores.
Outstanding. And I got the Krista the Barista on your little nameplate there. So
do.
Yeah,
so
hopefully.
If you wanted to read along with me.
Yeah, they got a visual now, so it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so now we're going to jump down. I saved you for last, Harvey, because today you got to kneel before B in front of, you got to see some archons or something to that effect. What do you think?
God, I was so nervous coming into the game tonight. Like, very excited, nervous energy. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. Anytime we get into the game, though, it just all flows so naturally, and it helps having such a good group of role players, too, who are able to just stick to what their characters want. And it's just so much fun. Yeah, I love it. I got to make a guy explode.
Right on. And you're all moved in and unpacked and as if you'd never been out at all, right?
Yeah, he's not very happy that Blythe got into his secret clothing stash. But I'm glad to have like a moment with Blythe next episode. Glad that the characters can kind of maybe take it easy and get some sleep. They need it.
Super.
But you can find me at joy_matey. You can see that under my little portrait. Hello. I'm also going to be in the next KULT Heartland game, and then I am on our D&D show. I always forget the name.
Greyhawk
City.
It's been a while since we've been able to do an episode.
Which will come back to your screen Sunday. Duke's in it. Chris is in it. It's awesome. But yeah, this is definitely... I'm very biased towards this game. I love it. And the characters are just like make it so good. We have such a great dynamic.
Amazing group. Well, thank you, players. They call me old Curtis, old out of frame Curtis. I can never get the frames right. It seems to be an ongoing problem. I'm gonna have to start cycling through some of my post-it notes and getting rid of some of these old ones and putting up a new one that says double check your frames, asshole. But thank you, players. It was a great session. I want to thank Helmgast again for putting this wonderful game back in front of us again. You can find KULT Divinity Lost for your own reading pleasure at cultdivinitylost.com, all one word. They have starter PDFs if you want to get into the game, but you don't want to spend the investment in the beautiful big hardbound book that they have, or in the PDFs. You can get your own KULT game going with their starter PDFs at that website. They also have some of their modules free as PDFs there, so you can start playing KULT on your own today. If just you go to KULT Divinity Lost, all one word.com. Speaking of a diverse game, we are premiering a brand new KULT Divinity Lost. Duke just mentioned it a moment ago, and this one is called Heartland. It is a modern tale in a setting that seems, on the surface, I guess, to maybe be a bit behind the times. I don't know, it's really confusing, but have plenty of fear, however, because it is still KULT and terror lies right beneath the surface. Duke and I will not let you down there. I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it, but I'm just going to tease little things around the edge. It's a tremendous collaborative project that we sprung up out of nowhere, decided we need to do this, and so we started doing it, and it's coming to life. Both Duke and I, myself in the building of the story in a familiar setting. We have brought in a couple of the ringers from our Manhattan series who are becoming more and more familiar with KULT to play along with some of our best new role players that we've got going here in some of our other games at TTRP Theater. So KULT Heartland is going to be just amazing. The talent and the collaboration that we've got put together for that one. We thought this one is going to steal our hearts. I can't even imagine what the next one's going to do. It will be a story that you do not want to miss when it happens live. It premieres in less than 2 weeks on Wednesday, August 28th at 1 p.m. Central, and that's 2 p.m. Eastern. Like, follow, subscribe, click the bell. We've got Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. You can find us at TTRP Theater at all of those avenues. If you would like to help us keep doing this, the best way is word of mouth, and always be watching. That is the best way you can support us, is give us those numbers. If you want to go a little bit further and help get into the build, visit our Patreon site. You can help keep these stories new, even more exciting tales of the dice coming for as little as $1 a month. You can be a part of the team. You can be part of our backstage crew, a techie, as we like to call them in the theater world. Again, another huge shout out to Helmgast for a fantastic game, KULT-DivinityLost.com. And another big shout out to you, the ones who watch, the ones who help pay the bills, the ones who help create, and the ones who help perform. And all of you out there who support independent creative work. So we like to say to you folks, good night, sweet dreams, and we love you.
Good night, sweet
night,
dreams.
sweet
We love you.
Love you.
Oh, that was really cute. I was just
Yay.
commenting.
Did you say it?
Good night, sweet dreams. We love you.
Okay.
You gotta be dramatic about it.
And now you're clear.